I don't know why this thing logs me out of YouTube. It drives me nuts. But I got to figure out, because I do my recording on the YouTube on the OBS, and I know there's a way to add the comment log extension. I just have not made that a priority to figure it out. So, or fix it. So
I will say Lucid's 90% to 10% is certainly better than
logs me out of YouTube. It drives me nuts. It's what?
80/20.
Oh, yeah,
Certainly
yeah.
better than 80/20 that my funded has.
Well, and that is why also I love Rapid, because Rapid is 90/10, which is
Okay.
good. Yeah, Rapid's 90/10. But yeah, man, it doesn't seem like much, but that 10% adds up. So it adds up. Okay,
Well, yeah, I mean that when you're talking about a $2,000 payout, you only get 1,500 basically.
yeah. Oh yeah, it makes a difference.
Mm.
So let's keep that page up. I'll grab my payout when that comes around.
I mean it's 1,600, but whatever.
Yeah, it's potato tata. No, I'm happy for you on that, man, because it's the thing I tell everybody in trading, and you know I talk about it a lot, is you got to be okay to accept some defeat, because every bad stretch can be pretty much fixed in one 5 6 day good stretch. Um, you just got to get out of your
Yeah, I mean
head.
one we have one payout and that's 20 failed evals, let's say.
Yeah.
So I mean you can recover pretty quickly if
Oh
you
yeah.
get some payouts.
Heck yeah. Okay, let me clean up my chart here. We were playing with some stuff earlier. So these are all the levels that he gave earlier. I'm gonna delete them out. Let's start fresh with old Neo here. And we'll still watch this one. I'm kind of curious to see how that plays out. But you can see we're full extension on the green up above that with this laying flat. So longs are a little dangerous right now on that. But we are bouncing pretty perfect off of our 29070. I think I got everything. Yeah, we're good. We are rock and roll, ready to go. All right, so let's look at the day. So pretty standard oscillatory day. Up, down, up, down. So that's pretty good. Neo, for those who use them, you guys seen that, was just phenomenal. He did it again for like the, I don't even know, 7th week in a row since we pushed that big old update. Right out the gate, where is it? I'm on the one. Get them all together. Let me delete these blue ones as well. I hate putting these blue ones on here, but when we're looking at it, I just end up throwing them on. Let's clean up all this stuff, guys. Clean up my chart for the day. This was just measuring the high. We'll get rid of that one. That's a little better. I want to keep these ones. Look how viable that one played out. Remember? We were talking about that one. That was nice. Okay, market open. So right out the gate, Neo had said on market open, which is right here, that he didn't even, normally he would say if we're going to go up that we're going to flush it south and then jump. Today he was just like, biggest liquidity we're out in this thing would be, to open it up and just flush it up here. And then normally, if like the wording matters of what Neo says. So if he wants to, like if he says, I would slam it up through here and then rip it back down, or slam it back down, or drop it through the floor. Like usually he's pretty accurate. It goes up and it drops through the floor. Today he didn't say that. He goes, I would just flush the liquidity up here. He goes, conversely, if there's enough liquidity and they want to, they could push it down through here, is what he mentioned. But it didn't seem a lot of confidence. And so we ended up pushing right to it. And so right to his target, which was literally 161, wasn't it, or something like that? Like it literally hit it to a T before we rejected. It was so good. And so he's done that every day. So we literally got our first like 10 minutes, I think we were done. For the most part, he could have been done. Because he caught the push from here. And then it was funny because this area here He was just like, I wouldn't trust it. Structure's more bullish temporarily on it. And then he said it's something about institutions flipping to buy. And the new indicator that we're pushing kind of kept us safe to ride that again. So we took this one, and this one pretty much, and we were done. I mean, he called literally like 3 100-point moves. So it was amazing. But really, really worked out good, guys. Man, what a mess in the. I didn't even watch the close. Ooh, buddy. That must have been the wasn't like the earnings or something today, I think, for Google, or I don't follow it real close, but I know it's coming. Might have been the shakeup. But
Well, they wrecked some people during that, didn't they?
oh yeah, people that wait for the last second. Again, guys, let's look real quick high time frame, just like we do in the morning, no different. Bearish structure still hasn't changed. This is our bearish channel that is pushing that end of the structure. Yeah, I remember seeing Google had its earnings, so I figured that's what it was. I don't ever just keep a trade that late anyway, so I'm already pretty much gone by then, so I don't look at it. Oh, so we're in a bearish channel. We have to assume and treat it as such until it's not, right? We have a deep extension with a parallel push, and we are rejecting right where we should reject. It is no different than if you come back here in this big old mess that I had called back then. When you look at this, we also had drop, push, double top, neckline. We dropped below it. We retested, had a deep extension. So if it follows suit, right, a deep extension is pretty possible. So we want to be careful. But we also have a pretty clear channel. I mean, pretty clear bear flag going on that we were talking about earlier today. And this 327, guys, is just a critical level, the 327. Let me see if I can increase my text size just a little bit for all you guys on TikTok. Let's see if it'll help a little. If you guys are having trouble seeing it on TikTok, I do have the YouTube up as well, and I do have the open session. Actually, I think it's in the. Did I put in the open session? Or I did in the trading view one. Yeah, the development. So you have to have NEO or be on trial to join that one, but we do have that. But this 327 is critical, man, because if you not only it becomes this low here, but you got this low here is well respected. And look at all of these wicks from within. All these wicks that just absolutely landmine jumps. So anything that holds heavily above that, one of the things we talked about in the mornings is notice the fast track in this range from 327 to 773. It's so fast. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. I mean, there's not a lot of chop consolidation as it breaks through these ranges. So if the sellers are going to defend that area at all costs, because if we break into there, they're just going to do the same, right? Fast track up. And so they're trying to defend that at all costs, which is where we've been mostly taking a lot of shorts. We took some longs up to it and then took some shorts off it. If you look also across, let's see, not that one. This one is a big one, the 238. That's actually a 50% too. Interesting. But there's some interesting things, right, that are playing out. And so I'm a big fan of, I like to check the anomalies. That's just how I trade. And if you look at here, where did I do it, Cody? Wasn't it here to here? And then you take that peak from there to there, and it lands almost to $1 of a high time frame extension drop that is critical. Because for the push on this side, this is that level. We held resistance, pushed, held it, and the buyers really stepped in and pushed pretty much straight up. And so I always love to find those little anomalies. That's just how I look for things, how my mind works. And so if this channel breaks down, man, we do have a long way we can go. And there's definitely an interesting anomaly down here that lines up too well, if you will. And so now we want to think about it for tonight. All right, what's the plan? And we'll go through NEO. The idea of tonight is to try to give guidance, right? So we can get some good wins from it to take some pressure off tomorrow. You don't want to overtrade either way. And if you guys have questions, please ask. Now's the time to do it. And so that is why I do this session more so to cater to TikTok, the questions, training. If you have questions, ask, please. If you don't have questions, I'll just keep on talking, like most of you guys know. Um, Again, with this move, there's a lot of factors that are intriguing to me. I love not only measured moves, but I love looking at retracement setups. So each teal line that I have here is a high time frame kind of structural 50% retracement setup. And you can see we tried to break it and then we lost it. Tried to break it and then we lost it. Anything that is below that, which is the 238.75, um, runs a pretty deep risk of dropping a lot farther. So the next one we found was this one, 29030. I don't, man, I need to like label them because I don't remember. We did the TA on it. I think it was, let me see, let me grab the top. I think it was from the top. And that lined up pretty close to there. Hmm. I know it's important because we found it, but I remember that day 2 days ago when we were just stepping up. Yeah, man, Reggie. Hey, yeah, tonight's casual, guys. Come go as you please. You know, I'll be on probably either way till about 9 o'clock, and then if the market's looking good and we're engaging and people got questions, I'll stay on longer. But yeah, each one of these teal lines has a pretty good representation, and this one's working pretty well because you can see we reclaim that. This 28.6 is a big one as well. I remember, what is the five? Oh, the 520 was that. Yeah, so um, just looking at the overall structure more localized, if we take that high and low, there it is. I think that's where we found it. Okay. It wasn't larger, it was the localized because that lines up almost perfect if I go down just a little more. And so this is going to be a big one. So 29028 area. I think it's a little lower, so I'm going to put it at 2927. We'll come bring it down just a notch. Um, Anything that hits here and bounces, we could just, distribute up here. I know. I'll let Neo talk in a minute. All right. Cody's like, shut up, man. What's Neo got to say? Oh, and so we got to assume, we're bearish until we're not, and we got to assume that we may see a potential bounce, somewhere between 29027 and this 29070. At the end of the day, if you think about it, we're paralleling, so a break of this is going to be a deep pull, but we're also kind of retesting these upper levels. So as long as this holds, it could get a little bit of a bounce. So I would not be surprised if we do. And so I would look something like this or like this. And so 153 is going to be a big one to watch. And then we do kind of a little bit of an established low. So 204, somewhere in there. If we go up and retest that and reject, right, you're going to want to probably wait and watch for the shorts on that. So, yeah, a lot of this extension is from the pull. We had this kind of dragonfly push there. Higher low from extension. Yeah, just kind of looking at it. I always love to just stare at the chart sometimes, guys, just to get a feel. Where did my other time? Oh, tripping. Um, I like to get a feel for the chart, what it looks like, and so see if there's any anomalies that stick out. And so, let's see. So we had a pull. And that one lined up exactly. So that's why we're getting a bounce. So we got a nice little measured move up, measured move down. We're holding it, breaking a high. That's why we're pulling up. Whether it will last, we will see. But this seems to be a pretty decent measure of the move within. So we are definitely extended. I would expect. So let's mark 137 just as a temporary kind of something to watch. And we'll get Neo's levels as well. Here in just a second, guys. So we'll go white. There you go. White is just irrelevant. You know, it's in the moment. That's how I have a little color coding system. It's just how I do it. And so I always recommend you guys do it too. As far as the bounce that we're getting here, you can see we have a low there. We have a 50% midpoint there. Anything that reclaims 137 is likely going to try to push. First attempt probably would try to reject a little because it's going to hit a little trend. So we'll see where we go from there. Let's check in with Neo. So, let's see. How much you up today? So I had my rapids that I was doing. I could show you on this. So I'm waiting till the time comes up, and so I'll be able to take out 3,000 and 3,000. So here at 8:30. So that was for today. Because I do the daily payouts for the rapid. So, but so I can't even trade those until I hate. That's the one thing I hate about the rapid is that it doesn't update until 8:30. So I can't even trade it.
That's Photoshop though, so.
Oh, clearly. That's funny. Clearly. Well, it didn't actually update it, so if you think about it, that was my payout, but this was what I was up. It didn't update this stuff yet, so a little over 10 was my day today. So it's not your own money. It will be at 8:35. So no, these are prop firms. Yeah, my funded futures. I have my own money that I do, but I have a little bit of a business that I do since where I take the money from the prop firms and put it into the real money stuff like options, personal trade debates, stuff like that. So I do both. You should always treat it like a business. Yeah, it's Nasdaq. I'm charting the MNQ, so MNQ1 exclamation if you want to follow along. So let me load up what I want to trade. So let's do this, and then we'll get to talking to Neo. Okay. Got it. All right, let's check in with Neo. We are about to trade the Asia session. Can you map out some key levels we should be watching in this session? So we'll see what key levels he's got. I have him on sarcastic. I'm gonna leave it on there because I'm testing personalities as well. So
I get the prep work before the session kicks off. Since the market is trading and the Asia session is active, I'll map out the levels. But keep in mind this is live market data, not a static plan for later. With MNQ at 29,082.25,
Okay.
here are the levels I'm watching. 29,095.75 to 29,106.75, bearish OB. This is the immediate overhead reaction zone. It's also where the active leg high is sitting. If price pushes in here and sellers defend, it keeps the bearish breakdown active. 29,083.50, active 50%, price is right near this. Losing this decisively is the first warning that the current push is running out of gas. 29,086.00, ORB low. This is the line in the sand for the current session. Dropping below this confirms the bearish breakdown is taking control. 29,164.13, institutional reaction level, wall. This is the nearest institutional level above price. It's overhead context, not support. Buyers would need to clear this area to even start thinking about a broader structural repair. The lean. The structure leans bearish, but since institutional flow is positive, it's conflicting. I wouldn't force a side. Shorts. I'm watching for rejection from the 29095, 29106 zone. If price rejects there and breaks the 29,083 midpoint, it opens the path lower. Longs.
He does that every now and then.
I need to see price reclaim and hold above 29,106.75 first. So if it can't clear that bearish OB, long side setups are just trap bait. What level are you watching for the session open?
So we got 83.50. I'm gonna mark them all on my chart, and then I'll let you guys know.
That was not quick at all.
No, that was a mouthful. So that's part of what I'm working through. So what triggers that is because I asked for a plan, right? And so he's not always that long-winded. It's still a little too much. I'm gonna probably work with on the logic, but he only does that deep because I'm asking for a plan, right? Give me the key levels on that. And so he wants to give you as much information as he can for what he's watching, which he should, right? Because you're building a plan. So 164. So this is where I take a minute and just get my chart set up before I teach any trades. Let's see, Lena's bearish. 106, he's got that. The 95, 106. Okay, good deal. So interesting, as you guys know, I love looking into or reading into what he does and says. He didn't give me any levels below it, just this area here and this one way up here. So let's ask, do we have any levels below the 29.08375 that I should be marking or watching if I wanted to take some shorts into it? The fibs will mark the same line. Oh, goodness.
The market is already bleeding out, so chasing this drop now is a fantastic way to catch a knife. Since you're determined to hunt downside, the next levels are the 1 minute prior low at 29,070.25 and the active leg low at 29,060.00. If those snap, the abyss opens toward the London low near 28,961.25.
Look
I
at
would
how,
wait for a bounce into
tight these
structure and
are.
rejection rather than slamming the button here, unless you enjoy watching your stop loss get clipped by a micro wick.
He's making these lower ones so tight. That tells me a lot, usually. But yeah, if you want to follow along with Neo and you can mark everything he says with fib levels, go for it. It's not gonna work, but give it a go. But yeah, let's go. Let's take a look and see, guys. So we kind of just boxed it in a little bit here. It's kind of tight, but if you think about it, we really sort of boxed it in pretty well. So you got that midpoint, up, down, low, from within. Good deal. Can you give me a long setup and a short setup? You know there's always there. Just try it. Just do it.
The market is currently deciding whether it wants to be bearish or just incompetent, so don't force a setup if you don't like the look of it. For the short, the structure is bearish, so I'd look for rejection from the 29,083.50 to 29,095.75 zone. Confirmation is a 1 minute bearish candle closed below 29,075.25 with a target at 29060.00.
Man, this stuff is so tight today.
29,083.50 is the first warning. Structural invalidation is a reclaim and hold above 29,106.75. For the long, you're fighting the current, so keep it tight. Confirmation is a 1 minute bullish candle close and hold above 29,083.50.
Man, all his targets are so tight.
Is 29,095.75. A failure back below 29,075.25 is the first warning, and structural invalidation is 29,060.00. Pick your poison, but don't say I didn't warn you if the chop eats your stop.
Pick your poison. His stuff is real tight. Usually when he tightens it up like that, it's pretty telling. So we might consolidate a little. But let's take a look at what we want to do here. Okay. All right. So let's see. Like I said, where we're going. We have our levels, our breakthroughs. The levels are tight, guys. You know. Talk on the 5-minute mark. You're talking probably about the other one. So this is, we have different things, right? So this is NEO AI session. And so this one's free. And so
hello, I'm Neo. Let's capture the move.
This one's free for everybody. And so he'll talk every 5 minutes. You just got to click the screen and then you'll have that, and then just make sure your sound's on and he'll talk. He'll read this to you. And so every 5 minutes he'll do an update on that. And so, if you guys are interested, that one's all free. It's just a stream. In common sense. Oh my goodness, I love it when we get the nay haters. I got common sense. It's easy. I'm a professional trader. Just like all the professional traders that for the last 2
free
weeks.
indicators to do better than that.
Like all the professional traders that say we'll be at 27 by tomorrow 2 weeks ago as we went up to 29.30 and then we'll get to 27 3 weeks later and they go, see, I was right. I love those people. Oh man. You're not gonna shake me up, man. I find it entertaining. The beauty is when I get those naysayers on there is everything Neo does is recorded on YouTube. So, not a hater, but free indicators are always better. Oh, good lord, don't get me on that pedestal. Let's use the free indicators that 3 million people use, but 95% of people who trade fail. That sounds like a good plan. Free. It's funny. I know, it cracks me up. I never have to feel like I get offended or defend it because anybody who's curious what Neo can do can go to the YouTube. We watch it every day. He has called his targets to the T every single day. And so, let's see. Nice little trap block right here from within. Played out that short pretty well.
Neo speaks for itself, man.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'm sure that that individual is a very successful trader who wins nonstop. Probably hasn't lost a trade in 38 years either. It's Asia, guys, so I like to ask. All strategies work. I'm not saying that they don't. I agree. I never said that they don't. You're the one in here going, you don't need this. Just use the free one. Just go do a MACD. You'll be a consistent winner. Yeah. Well, his short target played, but I didn't take it. I didn't like how tight the ranges were. I want to wait and see how this structure builds here. We got 027's kind of the low from within. Oh, that's what I was wondered, bro. That's a you know my philosophy, man. That's how I teach, how I trade is outside the box. It's not the retail thinkers, and so that was something that clicked with me a long time ago when the way my mind works is if 95% of the people that do this fail, but 95% of the people are told to use free indicators like MACDs and RSIs, you know, I don't have to be a logical genius to go from there. Now, the difference is, you know, while we're waiting for something to go, I'm not chasing this short, but it's cool to see a short played out. I just didn't like the tight targets of that, but yeah, the breakdown was pretty clear. The way we expanded, our indicator actually called the trap on both. Oh, this is a 1 minute. Oh, that's why it's. Let me go back to. I like this one, the 15 second. Let's see if that one called it. But the 1 minute played pretty well. But yeah, you know, the one thing I give you guys for advice is a lot of people are out there looking for the best strategy, the best entry, the perfect this, the perfect that. If everybody's using something and that one thing is not likely the only thing that they know or that they learned, that's just the one thing they want to sell you. But you always want to kind of learn a little outside the box. Now, it's not that it's not valuable. You want to know it, understand it. But really, honestly, guys, all you really need, like I have indicators here that I use for confirmation, but I don't need them. You guys have seen many times, look on the YouTube, I trade without them off. And with Neo, I will just use his lines, right? His guidance. But you can literally trade just understanding candle progression, you know, extension, exhaustion, order flow, all that stuff. It's really all you need to understand. And so, but yeah, it's funny when people do that. Like, just use this. It's amazing. Indicators are really good. I just people use them wrong. They just use them wrong. So you should use them for confirmation, not an indication. Because everything on TradingView is lagging. It's not real time. It's all lagging. So now I'll tell you, this purple box, this is our trap and block engine. This thing is so good. If I'm already looking for a short or I enter a short and I'm coming out of that or that pops up, then I'm like, ooh, let's go. Confluence, yeah, I agree on that. Confluence is good. Again, I'll tell you, you will not find from me, and this is why I've not, like, I'm not one that's going to go out. Just, I love people who have different thoughts, opinions, all that. I'm not going to just block people for that, like you see some on the lives. We'll have a discussion about it. But the fact of the matter is, as we're watching this kind of settle, the trading industry gets very globalized, meaning if you do this, there's no way you can win. If you do this, there's no way you could lose. If you learn this one strategy, you're gonna be a millionaire. Like, it's not that easy. And the fact of the matter is there's a million different ways to trade. People scalp, some people swing trade, flow trade, intraday, covered call type stuff, position trading, there's just so much. I love Radius. I love that, man. When you're one of the few people that pop on my TikTok that I accept your numbers, because I think you and I both kind of shown each other when a number gets called out there, it's gonna hit it. And so, but anybody else that comes in and goes, we're going to this, I'm like, sure, show me why, and then I'll believe it. But but yeah, the trading just gets generalized, man. People literally they come in and think there's only one way to trade, and it's just not true. There's many ways to look at the market, many ways to trade, many ways to make money. That's what we're all here for. And I have one philosophy. If what you're doing is working, man, just keep on doing it. Even with you, we'll go Zygot. If you're using free indicators and you're consistent and you're successful and you're able to understand them, do your thing, man. I'm not ever gonna tell you it's wrong. So, but I'm gonna tell you a lot of people can't do it. So, but yeah, exactly, man. I just love that, dude. I had so many people that will drop in and be like, "Oh, look at those charts. There's no way you're profitable." And then I'm just like, "Well, I'm about to get a $6,000 payout, so I think I'm okay." Right after the 4. Um, I know. I'm just bad. Well, look. Well, in all fairness, you did say, "Why do you need this?" You could do the same thing with free indicators. So we can't really backtrack there. Normally, I don't engage much of this, but it's kind of funny, and I'm waiting for this to play out here. But yeah, with Neo, like Radius and quite a bit of people in here, I think, follow him, Neo, each morning, and they've seen what he can do. So, but I've heard it all. It's so funny, right? Yeah. I've heard it all. I love my favorite one is the one when people come in and go, man, you don't need that. Anybody can make a Claude AI now. Okay, go do it. So go do it. I mean, I'm not trying to compete. I don't. Oh yeah. No, we're just talking, man. If I thought you were hating, I'd have blocked you. I would have just moved on. Uh, I'm good with it. I love it, man. I love the debate. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah. Right. The savvy, the old go do it. Okay, go do it. I don't. You guys will find from me, most of you who follow me for a bit, I don't rattle easy. So I've been around the block a few times, and I have fun with it, right? And so as long as people are being respectful, then yeah, man, let's have a debate with it. I'm cool with it. So what's the best way to learn to trade? Well, first off, there's a lot of answers to that, but you want to the best way is to start by understanding what the more important things mean, right? What do the candles mean? What do they represent? What does the moving or the structure mean? Understand why when the candles move down, why they begin to struggle here, why they are holding what we call support there. A lot of different things that you want to learn. What people do. No, well, it's actually reversed. We were talking about this earlier, Radius. The funny thing is, and I love to know if you fall in this line or anybody else that's experienced. Most experienced traders typically start out with a good win out of nowhere. You don't even know how it happened. That's what the old hook and bait, right? Or bait and hook. So it you just get some random win. You're like, wait a minute, did I just make this amount of money in this like 10 minutes? Hold up. And that's what entices you, right? And then you go in and try to learn, and then you overcomplicate it, and then you realize that it's not quite as easy as you thought. And then you give it all back, and you lose and lose and lose and lose until you figure out that it's not that easy. And so, yeah, right. Yeah, and so that's usually most traders' story that stick around for a while. But the one thing I will tell you for the individual or any individuals who are asking is I'm very different than a lot of communities. So at least from what I've seen, I don't know, maybe I'm not, but I want to cater to beginners. You know, I've been on so many lives that people, where do I get started? Do you teach new people? Nope, don't teach new people. And it's like, why? Like, I don't know why everybody's so afraid to teach new people. So I'll tell you, in our company, this is our company, nextstepalgo.com. It is a company created by myself and two of my friends, and so the three of us have it, and we are integrating, Neo AI all through it. So we have AI within our trading courses that'll help you out. We have TradeVision. You got this one that's
Hello, I'm Neo. Let's
let's
capture the
capture
move.
the move. This is free. So for anybody who wants to know, I know that learning is kind of the hard knock life of you got to get some payouts in order to buy the tools to get the payouts, right? So I've mentored a lot of people. I still mentor a lot of people, and it's kind of the old chicken and the egg, right? Which one came first? So you want the tools to be profitable, but then you want the payout to pay for the tools to be profitable. And so and not a lot of people want to really help you be uh, profitable. Yeah, it's cool. Not a lot of people want to help you be profitable, right? And so we decided with this one, because it's a stream, it's cost effective for us as a company. No matter how many people are on it, it doesn't change our costs. And so every 5 minutes, he will do a market update with a long entry and a short entry. So it's a great place to start. Is just watch that. You'll learn some stuff. You'll see it on the chart. You can't talk to him, but he does have audio, and it's going to give you some signals, and they're free. So you don't pay for anything. You don't have to install anything. You don't have to attach anything. You just put it up on the website and just wait every 5 minutes. He's going to populate a feed. So that's what we do with Neo. Now, trade as far as the new portion in our trading courses, we have a lot of things that cater to that. So I created this one. It's called the Trading Starter Kit. This one's also free. It doesn't cost you anything. You just sign up to the website, click on it, put in that you want access, and it's free. Because I want to give people a place to start. So you will find in this company we don't do anything uh, the same. I don't want to do everything the same. And so when you open this up, it's going to be fully audio. I'm going to mute that. And it's a book. It's not a video. So it gives you a nice little beginner guide. It's not extremely long, but there's a few chapters, workbook, homework. And guess what? You can come in and talk to Neo. You can just hit this and ask him, what is a candle? What is a wick? How do I learn? So best place on where to start, I would just at least start with this. It's going to give you some basic foundational stuff. And then once you get done with the trading starter kit, we do other lessons, right? So lessons 1, 2, 3, all the way through. It's built intentionally to kind of build your foundations as a trader, and we don't charge. I never want to charge a lot for this kind of stuff, and so each of these is like $30, and they're not short. When you go into it, guys, it's pretty in depth. So when you get into the chapters, again, books, tests, all that stuff. So you can see, goes through. It's all visuals, all that stuff. So that's the best place to start. Just wait until you see me and Alex met today. We're going to be working on, I don't know if I'm going to go with this name, but, kind of like Concierge Neo. He's going to be a site guide. He's going to help you get set up, everything. Nice little push there. Let's see. A little push and pull. Right now we're just kind of in a retest. Let's look and see. But yeah, guys, tonight is casual trading. We'll keep talking to Neo. We'll ask for some guidance, some signals. Watch that 73. If we come up, tap that, go down. But we are getting a little bit of pressure, suggesting it may try to go up a little more. But we'll see. It depends on how it breaks through this area here. And so, boom. Yeah. So we'll see. You're almost home. Nice, man. Jump on. I appreciate it, Savvy. But yeah, let's talk to NEO and see. We're getting a nice little push. That short that you called was awesome. So as we climb like this, what would entice us to want to enter a long? Or what would I want this to reject from to take a short? Let's see what he says. Oh, I know you've been loving it, Steven.
But don't start thinking you're a genius. The market just did what it was supposed to. Don't get sloppy now. For the long, don't just jump in because the candle is green. I need price to reclaim and hold above that 29,095.75 to 29,106.75 bearish OB. If it can't clear the top of that, it's just a trap for eager buyers. For the short, the structure is still dragging its feet on the downside. I'd wait for a rejection from that same 29,095.75 to 29,106.75 zone. If it can't get through there, you get another shot to play the trend. If it blasts through, the long is your only prayer.
So what I'm gonna do, guys, if you have comments, and you want to ask NEO a question, I'm gonna put it in here. We'll let NEO answer that, because I want to show you guys how you can ask all these questions to NEO.
If you're getting your trading wisdom from TikTok, you might as well throw your money into a shredder and feed yourself the screen time. Fair value gaps aren't essential. They're just areas where price moved too fast.
He's
If
such
you're
a dick
building
on
an entire
sarcastic.
plan around gaps without checking structure, liquidity, or confirmation, you're not trading. You're just providing liquidity for everyone else. Gaps are just inefficiencies, not magic signals. A gap without structural backing is usually just a place to get trapped.
Yeah. So fair value gaps, my opinion on them. I like them. I like to be aware of them. But I agree with them. So you got to remember kind of how I teach my mentor group. There are only really 3 things that are important in trading. Everything else is just confluence or confirmation, if you will. And so what? Oh, that's right. So if you think about it, is the first thing, what is let's see if we can do a little Q&A from it. What is the most important thing in trading? What is the most important thing that comes to mind? Just right at the gate. Let's see. Mentor group, you guys should know this. You guys can answer too. You can just put it in the Google Meet. I'm just curious. Most important thing. There's a bazillion things. Well, I'm not talking like a risk management thing. I'm talking about directional, like to find where the market's going. Okay, so somebody has trend. So think about time frame. So think about what does the market try to chase? I'm going to give you a little hint, right? What does the market want to chase? Liquidity. Yeah, liquidity. I mean, that's that's the biggest, I mean, either there's liquidity or there isn't. And so I'm going to tell you guys though, and a lot of your answers aren't necessarily wrong, but what I teach and what you guys really should do, and this is just my advice, again, there's many ways to trade. Try to think outside the box from the norm of what retail style thinking is. If you're running into inconsistency issues, it's because you're, looking at the market, you're seeing it as a retail style trader, meaning everything that you see is what you were told to see. And I'm looking at this is the NASDAQ. I'm on the MNQ1 exclamation, if you want to look at that one. And so if you think about it, I had a theory a bit ago. And I know I'm going to oversimplify it. It's fine. So you have big money against retail, which is all of us. Unless you are running a Fortune 500 bank, you are retail. And this is big money's sandbox. They are the ones that are out here to make money. This is why they make money. They make millions and millions and millions every day. Trading is a zero-sum game. You cannot have winners unless you have losers. They cannot make money unless they make it from something or someone, right? And so they make it from retail. That's where they get it. That's why they trap it. And so it's always interesting to me that the people who are trying to get the money from retail are the same people who teach you where to put your stops and what pattern to look at and what, right? What is NEO? I'll continue. Let me share that real quick for those just joining, and then I will continue my statement because it's a little bit longer. NEO is right here. So NEO is our site-wide AI. You just go to nextstepalgo.com and you can just talk to him. So he's true AI. He's not prompted. He's not Claude. It's company on a enterprise company account, and uh, it's a company me and two friends created. So it's our company. Um, he is just constantly evolving. He is not just a signal caller. He is a mentor, friend, guide. Put him on uncensored, and it'll be a buddy like you talking to you went out to get a beer with. He might throw a couple f-bombs at you, but he's going to develop you. He's got memory, all that stuff. So how to get it? You just go to the website nextstepalgo.com. We do a free 3-day trial that you do not have to put a card or nothing. Doesn't even go through Stripe because I want you guys to try it. And so, yep, but that's NEO. So, but if you think about it, like I said back on that topic, uh, everything is about liquidity. The market just has to chase liquidity. And so I had a thought, and the way I broke it down for people is, in a sense, liquidity is like your destination. I love to use analogies because I think it just gives a better visual. And so I'm just going to throw a couple little squares. So let's assume that liquidity is here, and let's just assume there is liquidity here. I'm not doing the TA on it. Don't be like, no, there's not. Just an example, guys. All right. So if this is where you want to go, let's say north or south, think of this like, I don't know. Let's say you're on, your Find Me app or Snapchat watching them drive, and your buddy's driving. And you got to decide, is it going to there or is it going to there? Right? Are they going north or are they going south? I don't know. Driving like a crazy person now. But in a simplified sense, all the three things that you need to know is where is the liquidity, which is your destination, what is the structure looking like, which is kind of like the road map, right? Your GPS of where it's taking you. And so if you were to visualize this as a map that somebody's driving, you're going to look at things like, okay, well, it's getting higher lows, higher highs of sort within here. Looks like they might be going more north, but not really sure, right? Like you could, if you thought of it less of like trading and more of like a GPS, you would understand that, right? And probably see it a little clearer. And those are just the two most important things, right? Where is it going, and does the path look structurally like it's going there or there? It's really what it boils down to. The third and final thing is just order flow. If you got volume coming in suggesting that it's following suit of the structure to the liquidity, it gives you, think of the order flow like, again, I love to teach in analogies like a gas pedal, right, in a car. If your destination is here and this is your roadmap, if all of a sudden I floor it towards the north, pretty good chance it might be going to that north, depending on a few other things. But really, that's really what it boils down to, guys. Those three things. There's a lot of other things. There's a lot of strategies. I will never knock other strategies, but if you can master those three things first, everything else is just it comes so much easier because everything else just kind of couples into rules. That's all it boils into. And so if you think about it, some of you out there that are learning how to trade, sorry, let me pivot for a second, right? So we double bottomed here. We got a really nice high climb, reclaim through there, pull. We got a really good pull through here. This was your bearish descent, which was also, if you guys recall, the measure move that we were kind of playing through. So that played out. And so currently in this little stretch, if you take this high, like kind of what I was talking about, interesting, it lines up perfectly with that line or really close. We're holding a pretty good higher low from within. So we want to take a counter retracement and that would be that. So I'd want to see this break above here with some strength, hold it, and then that'll complement that higher high from within. So we'll watch and see where we go from here. There's a really nice looking, I don't know if it's gonna hold, but I tend to like to look for the old parallels. It's our early read, and we'll see how that plays out. I'm still not against, trend line, support, resistance. All that stuff is amazing. You should know it. You got to understand it. But people just use it backwards. And so we use a thing like indicator, like a 200 EMA or Lismo or MACD or RSI as entry. If this goes here, like I go on lives and watch videos, right, just to see what's out there. And that's like my favorite thing is people say, this is the RSI, let me teach you it, and we are oversold, so it has to go up. I've seen us drop like 600 more points while it's oversold the whole time. So that theory doesn't quite work, I promise you. But it's valuable if it aligns correctly. And so if the structure is reversing due to higher highs, higher lows, weaker retracements, things like that, that would justify it possibly going up, and then you see us oversold, then it's like, cool, you know. Same thing within this. If this is pushing up and you see we're over, right, you're in the upper part where we're overbought, then you would just want to kind of make sure that the structure is rejecting where it is supposed to, getting the lower low that it's supposed to get. And you can kind of measure weakness just through the retracement. And so if this comes in here, it's a normal regression, right? Push, regression, up. If we end up breaking through this and we tap it as a resistance, it's a pretty good likelihood that we're going to come back down for another tap or lower low. This is the fact in trading. So here we go. And so, when you're understanding where it's moving, how it's moving, what it's looking like, man, that one came deep. Look, there's the lower low. And so when you are looking at it like that, it just makes it so much easier to kind of get an idea of what's going on. And so you can see we had a full kind of breakdown. Look at the indicator called it. So what I like to do with indicators is use it a little bit differently. And so when you're dealing with the indicators, you want to, if I'm looking short from a rejection here, and I'm looking for that rejection, got the doji, the breakdown, the close, pull through, and I have an indicator and a trend line that supports a southern move, that's confluence from what you're already looking at. But I'm not using this to say, oop, got that going in, right? It's just not, if you're doing that, it's going to work until it don't. So, but yeah, so like I said, I tend to mention that on some lives and videos, but I don't think everybody likes to kind of stay on the same road, the same path, the same grain, right? But keep in mind, a lot of the strategies, especially the advanced ones, they are important. I'm not discrediting them at all. But most people that you talk to about it, they want it to be extra important because guess what they get to do with the expensive courses? They get to charge you an arm and a leg, right? And so the beauty of what I wanted to do with Neo is Neo will, you don't have to guide him through anything. You don't have to link him for anything. And you just talk to him. If you have your own strategy, you have your own thing, do your thing, right? You can tell him, hey, here's my strategy. This is what I do. This is what I look like or what I look for. And he's going to likely tell you, hey, let's use what you know and what I can see, and we'll just kind of work together as a team, right, for confirmation. Because at the end of the day, we just all want to know, is it going up or is it going down? So, but yeah, so far we got a perfect tap on that lower trend. For me to believe this is going to hold within, I really would want to see some type of retracement somewhere up into here, 29.53 or so. So we'll see if we get that. A big thing to watch from the structure standpoint is going to be our prior low. So we had a little consolidation from within. If we want to continue deep bearish, it shouldn't reclaim that. It just shouldn't. So Yeah, no worries. It's the MNQ. So if you go in here, just type in MNQ1 exclamation. So that's the one I do. So if you do the one exclamation, that's TradingView's. It's where the contracts are continuous. You don't have to change the contracts every single time. Thanks, guys. Yeah, you don't change it. So that's why I like doing that one. If you're on that and your levels are still off, when I do the high time frame, you know, down here the B80J, the adjustment for the contracts, having it on or off will change the higher time frames, but lower doesn't matter because it's still within that contract. But yeah, let's see how this behaves. Let's ask Neo. We had a nice little drop there. Your bearish call was pretty good. What would we need this to reclaim for us to consider taking a long? I'm going to keep him on sarcastic, but he's a little extra spicy today, guys. He's kind of a little bit of an asshole. Let's see.
Glad you caught the drop, but don't let the ego blind you. The trend is still slapping you in the face. To entertain a long, I need a 1 minute candle close and hold above the 29,056.25 to 29,063.75 OB zone. If that happens, the first target is the VWAP at 29,074.00. If it fails to hold above 29,056.25, the bears are still running the show and you're just begging to get crushed.
56. Ooh, so he's talking about 56.25. And then let's just move that to his 63.75. There it is. Okay. This one he has 74, so let's just move this one to 74. Okay. Usually, even if I want to short, I like to see a little bit of a pullback rejection, just showing me that they're still committed. If we were to get a push up, what would be a good rejection point to look short? This one's on 15 second. I like to normally be
At
like
least
this.
someone is using their brain instead of just mashing the sell button. If you want to short a bounce, watch for a rejection at VWAP 29,074.00 or that 29,095.75 to 29,106.75 bearish OB. I need to see a failed reclaim or a bearish 1 minute candle body close at those levels to prove sellers are actually doing something. If it tears through that OB, you're just providing liquidity, so get out before you become the trap.
Become the trap. Now that we have Asia open here for a bit, where would you send this price to wreck the most retail?
From a trader-facing liquidity view, the slaughterhouse is almost always at the range extremes. The most obvious retail liquidity is sitting right under the Asian low, 29,025.75, and that prior day low, 28,961.25. Sweeping those levels is the easiest way to trap late shorts before a bounce. On the flip side, pushing back into that bearish OB, 29,095.75 to 29,106.75, is a classic way to wreck breakout buyers who think the trend magically flipped because of a single candle. Retail loves chasing the extremes.
Oh, it's cool. I'll show you something really cool in a minute. Hold on.
For liquidity hunt. Just don't be the one providing the liquidity.
So we do have extra language enhancements, and so I've talked to Neo so much I got to keep it the same. But we can do UK Neo. That sounds good. Looks like the buyers are getting a little backbone. UK Neo just throws it off for me. I can't do it, guys. But look. I kind of want to add. Some people have asked about adding a female.
Getting back, are they? That's adorable. We're still sitting well below the VWAP at 29,073.25 and that bearish trend line at 29,062.25. I wouldn't trust a single bloody green candle just yet, mate, unless price actually reclaims 29,073.25 and proves it's not just another bear flag. This is likely just the market taking a breather before the next slide down.
Yeah, can't do it. Or we could do, we did this earlier, it's kind of funny. Let's do, let's do French. Oh yeah, I expect this to push back up, and if we reject off that upper level, then it might just pull back down. Let's do the French one. And then we'll jump in and see.
C'est mignon d'avoir des attentes, mais le marché se fiche royalement de tes espérances.
Anybody speak
On est en
French?
dessous du VWAP 29072.50 et dans une tendance baissière sur 5
I will
minutes.
explain that
Parier sur la
one
hausse ici, c'est
second.
juste offrir ton argent au marché. Si tu veux vraiment shorter un rebond, la zone rebond baissière, 29
We're
000.
gonna stop that one. Anybody speak French? So right, but so we do have the language enhancements on there. So for those that like that, so keep in mind we are trading futures, and so with futures, look at that push. Good lord. With futures, it is Monday through Friday, and then basically the way it goes is you get the 4 p.m. market close, you get the 5 p.m. close, on the futures, and then from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern, the markets shut down for your futures, and then 6 p.m. it opens back up. And so the reason why we call them different sessions is because even though I'm in US and I'm trading it, it's not the US session, right? That's going to be from that 9:30 to 4. And so I just couple it all as Asia session, but if you want to get all correct with me, then it is technically Sydney that opens up first, and then it kind of goes down from there. Let me look at something real quick, guys. I want to see about. I'm not going to deal with that yet. And so that's why you'll hear people say Asia session or EU session or like 2 a.m., 4 a.m., 6 a.m. It's just each across the the whole world, right? Each market opens throughout the day, and so that's the beauty of futures. So guys, so far it's playing out pretty good. The channel we identified early got a perfect bounce from it, ended up pulling through, got the explosion. I don't know, you guys in the mentor group, did you grab that? That was a perfect setup we do where you get the tap, got the low, pulled through, reclaimed the high, got the explosion. You guys get that? Anybody? Cody? Come on, Cody. That's your jam right there, man. Tell me you got it. Got it? All right. At least let's see thumbs up. We're just going to assume you got it. So, but yeah, guys, just again, today I don't go live on Asia most of the time because I'm either working on a project, spending time with family and doing things. And I am live and trading pretty much all day aside from that. But I just kind of enjoyed, doing it on Wednesdays, one of the days we did it. And so instead of doing a development session, I decided to just open these lives. And so, it's a little more casual. So, ask questions. I'm just kind of hanging out. I'll take a couple trades as we go. I took a little trade on the way up here, nothing crazy. But I want to wait and see. For this to show strength, if it pulls back here and jumps, still shows strength. It's a normal pull. Anything that holds above that shoots, we might get an early falling channel breakout. Be interesting. How much is the AI bot? And so with NEO, we do the free trial. You get 3 days. Try it. Make sure you like it. I don't want anybody paying for anything until you pretty much have a chance to see it or try it. And so you get 3 days. It's a good time. This is also why I do it Wednesday, because you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's a great time to start the free trial. And I'm on here to answer questions, as you get it. So if you haven't done the free trial, I suggest that you do. Because tonight's the night you can ask questions. After the free trial, we do 2 plans. The basic after our coupon is $100 a month. The pro is $250. And so we intended on only doing one. We weren't going to break it up into 2, and we were going to do the $250. But I want one that's a little cheaper for people, so that way you have the ability to get the guidance, development, signals, all that stuff to get the payouts to earn your money. And the only thing that is different between them, I will never dilute logic just because it's cheaper. I don't like it. I don't believe in that. And so what I did as kind of a team, we decided that the only thing that we'll do is change kind of what you get. And so if you look at the view plan, you get future symbols, you get, the access, and you get the quick responses, personalities, beginner and friendly, for the basic on that. So the only thing that's really different is a few of the perks, I guess, if you will. And so if you like trading options, stocks, crypto, he can do all that. These are all the symbols that he supports. So from within. But yep. If you're interested, guys, check them out again. Now, if you haven't done the free trial, now's going to be time to do it because I can answer questions for you guys. So, see how we got that regression? It's just normal as of right now. Let's see. We're going a little deeper. So, we need to see how this acts. If we get a sweep a little lower and it comes back, taps it, sweep a little lower, it's going to give a nice little oscillatory move. Interesting enough, you guys notice that I didn't take it because we got to talking, but if you notice where I said about taking a short, he said you want to push back up into the 29,095 areas preferably. Oh, that was actually, no, that was wrecking people. Right here. If you want a short, watch for a rejection off the 29,074. Pretty close. We got to 068. And so we got the rejection. That was back here when it pushed up. So that was a good short setup. I didn't take. We were chatting. But yeah, let's see, guys. This 27 is going to be a really big level because that is, remember, that measured 50% retracement on the higher time frame there. So with this, we went deeper than we should have if we're going to continue north. And you can see we broke it. This should hold if it wants to drop south. If we break through this, we just measure just another structural retrace of here. If, we should not break through there if we want to continue south. And so if at any point this higher low pushes through here, holds a support, is likely going to try to break it. But anything short of that, you guys can see it's starting to reject. So you guys can see as of right now, that's a pretty perfect rejection right off of it. So pull, push, rejection, push. So we'll see if it creates that lower low or does it come back up through and break that. And so let's check with NEO. We're getting a little bit of movement here. What do you see in the levels that we should be concerned about? And so I can mark my chart. Yeah. This is I mean, as far as my trading.
Two lapels caught
hold on.
movement.
Oh shoot.
They just do brew it.
No. Hold on. Let me why did he kick on? I don't even know what that dude was speaking. We were playing with the language. Let me refresh him.
Hello, Nick. I'm ready, even if the market clearly isn't. What's on the menu?
Yeah, all right. Break down a trading plan that we should do around this area. Keep it short and sweet. We don't need to go super detailed. I'm just focused on the levels that I want to watch. I don't want him to write another book. So 28.995.
The market is trapped in the 5 minutes order block, 29,031.50 to 29,043.25, meaning you're currently paying commissions to watch paint dry. Long path confirms on a 1 minute candle close above 29,043.25.
Might not be opposed to that.
First target is 29,068.00. First warning is failure back below 29,043.25.
Yeah, not opposed to it.
Structural invalidation is 29,029.00.
If we break it.
Short path confirms on a 1 minute candle close below 29,031.50. First meaningful target is 29,029.00. Room is incredibly tight. First warning is a reclaim of 29,031.50. Structural invalidation is 29,043.25. I wouldn't touch this chop until price
this is not even supposed to even talk about.
Otherwise, you're just begging to get chopped up.
Structural invalidation 43 long. Yeah, he's still giving just tight targets. Wondering what is causing him to give that tight. Man, today he was giving like 150 point moves. Why I said I don't disagree with you is I'm a big fan of simplified the trading, and so I love measured moves, man. If this happens to continue to channel or we get a sweep through, if you take our measure move high low of that regression, line it up at the top, it actually lands pretty close to what you're talking about. So 954, just from that simple pull. The beauty of trading, guys, I'll tell you, is there is hundreds of ways to get to the same thing. I could have 3 or 4 different things that I look at and be like, we're getting to this number. And then you look at 3 or 4 different things that tell you we're getting to that number. So it will bounce back. The only thing I will tell you, man, is I love confident traders because you don't know. It's assumption. And so I've had at least God, I don't know, a dozen people pop into my TikTok when we were back here, and some of you guys have seen it. I think it was when we were over here, and I think it was even lower. I don't even remember. But they kept saying like, "Oh, we're going to 28.5 and 28.4," and you know, somewhere around here they were like, "We're going back down to 28.5." I'm like, "I don't think so," because the structure didn't support it, and so we went right back up, and so well, they were wrong. The fact of the matter is, man, nobody knows where it's going to go. We have to anticipate through TA. And what I like to do, I have assumptions of liquidity or movements or measure moves or, you know, potential predictions, but it's got to act that way if it's going to truly go there. So, for example, if Asia acts the way it normally does and we continue to just channel, then yeah, I mean, it'll probably come all the way back down and then break through the channel and then pop. Very possible. I'm not saying it's not, but I would want to see that. But if we end up breaking this channel early, like let's say this higher low holds, we push up and we get another explosion through. Your theory of going all the way down there first is wrong. So we just don't know that, right? Until we see it starting to act like that. And so, but the beauty is again, I like to, so, you know, NEO gives his targets as well. So I'm not against targets, but as long as I have a thesis behind where or how you figured that out, then I'm good with it. So just that simple measure move puts it around that area. So I'm good with it. But whether or not we'll go there first or not, again, back on the GPS, right? The roadmap. We have to see what the structure is doing. In order for us to do bearish things, we got to do bearish things. So, right? Yeah. It's fine. It's all good, Steven. I don't mind. Like I said, man, I'm cool with it. I don't mind having open discussions with people, as long as everything stays civilized. Otherwise, then you get blocked. I love that, man. When I go on people's lives, uh, taking an oh, you're doing what Neil's doing, taking an educated guess. I'm good with it, man. Hey, as long as you can tell me how you got there, and then I'm a logical person. You can convince me of anything. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, everything is data. So it's all data. And the market can shift. So I'm a firm believer, why I like the 15-second, 1 minute, is even with Neo, if he's going to throw out his levels, it's got to do bullish things if it's going to be bullish. It's got to do bearish things if it's going to be bearish. Right now, I mean, you know, we're doing an Asia channeling, but we're in a lower high here, but we're doing a couple little signs of bulls trying to come in. So obviously we need to break a little more, but you can just see, you know, potential exhaustion or bottom starting to display. Just because you have a deep drop from the open, it's going to likely try to keep retesting that low from the open. If this continues to reject, then yeah, that measure moves in play, man. We're going down. But if you notice, we have our low with our extension pulled up, had our pull through, came more than the 50, but it lost it, had the lower low, but it's a weak lower low from here with a deep extension with now a higher low with the support of that. So it's still early, right? And so, oh yeah, everybody can wrong. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. And that's why I'm cool with it. Like I get a lot of times where people will say, "Hey, what strategy do you use? Is it this? Is it AMD, ICC, ICT?" I just say, "Sure, yes." I don't lock myself to a strategy. I think that that's not wise. Um, I like to understand market conditions, right? I want to anticipate it. I'm an analyst. I people in the community that I mentor and many on the TikTok I've seen. Um, I just like to watch the conditions, and if it's doing bullish things, it's gonna be bullish. If it's doing bearish things, it's gonna be bearish. It's just, you know, there are certain things the market should do as it progresses, and if it doesn't do that, it's setting up traps. So, and that's why I'm not big on making the long predictions because there's too many variables that can happen from now to then. I just like to just study what the chart tells me. So, I measure a few things. The 50 is something you'll see me refer to a lot. So the 50%, you can do fib stuff, and that's fine. I don't. Again, I mentor a lot of people, some very new, and so I keep it simple. If you just take this simple ruler here, I love Heikinashi because it gives you a nice green and nice red pivot, is what I call it, right? So you have a nice little pivot, high, low. The market, in order for us to stay bullish, when you have a rejection and you pull it down to the low of that pivot, it should respect that 50% pull. It just should. And so it's just a way for me to tell, are the bulls strong or are the bears strong? If this consistently is pulling through it and rejecting and dropping, the bulls are trying to come in, but they're just not strong enough. But like, see how we're doing this now? If we tap and sweep it, because there's a good amount of people that set stop losses below that kind of stuff. If we sweep it and get a push through up here and get a close above, this is stop hunt. Bulls are about to take over. So it's just an easy way to measure. So, but another thing, I'm a fascinate with you guys with this stuff. So there is a lot of um, ways to look at the market. And so when you come into here, I love to find, and I love it on Heikinashi because it's just so much easier. But you can look at certain things, like for instance, I don't know, we'll grab from this top down to this low. And I can move it over, and you can grab from that top, like we did the other one in the breakdown. And isn't that wild that it was pretty damn close to that before we jumped? You can grab that top, and I think we're pretty, let's see, right there. And we can go ahead and put that right there. And aside from that wick, it's an exact measurement extension. There's so much more you can do from within that, right? So it's a good way to tell if you're exhausted. Can use a price range. There's a lot of things you can use to measure it tool wise. So I like to just simply use the line. It's just what I've always done. But there's a lot of other stuff too that I teach my mentor group that you can use with that tool for target prediction. It's pretty cool. I'll tell you guys, the one thing I'm a firm believer on is trading doesn't have to nearly be as complicated as we make it. It's just a fact. And see that sweep wick and then the pull. That's what I was talking about. So just the way that that reclaimed. Now the other thing I'll tell you for all of you guys out there that trade, people are so fearful of low time frames. I was on this one person's live, and we were talking about something, or they were talking about something I said about the 15-second chart, and people freak out. They're like, "No way I would trade on the 15-second." Like, at the end of the day, guys, a 15-second chart is an amazing time frame to study. Look at that push. We're testing that low. So this is a very critical push here, guys. Let me look at something. So we take, oof, look at that line up perfectly. You guys see that low to the mid to the target? But 15-second, 1 minute. Yeah, have a good one, man. Hey, drop in anytime. I'm good. Like I said, I'm good with it. You had some good feedback and suggestions. I'm good with it, man. You'll never figure out or find that from me where I'm going to sit on here and be like, no, you don't know anything. You're trash. I know everything. Like that. People that do that are so stupid because everybody trades differently. Everybody can see the market differently. And it doesn't really matter how you see it. At the end of the day, as long as you know it's going up or down, you're winning. And so, yeah, I mean, that's the main thing, you know, you just want to learn it. But like I was saying, on the 15-second, the way I teach the people I mentor, really even an open session, is the time frame is just it's gonna be, you know, there's a lot of 15-second candles in a 1 minute, a lot of 1 minutes in a 5 minute, etc. Right? A little push. Look at this. Let's look at this push here real quick, guys. I want to see. So I want to, just for my mentor group, I want to show. So technically about 81. Yeah, 81. Okay. So we'll watch that. But you want to every time frame is going to be the same in a sense, because a candle is going to be do the same thing on higher time frames. The structure, the moves, the pivots, retracement, all that stuff, dojis, hammers, whatever else you want to study, overall structures, it doesn't matter what time frame it is on. Only thing that the time frame is going to represent is how fast it's going to play out or how far it's going to move. That's it. So on the 15-second, for example, on the 15-second, things will play out pretty quick and you might get a 50-point move. Whereas if you're on the 5 or 1 hour, you're going to get, you know, maybe 500-point moves or more. And so, but the reason why I love the 15-second, even if you don't want to trade it, is just study it, because it's going to tell you so much. I can see so much. And if you're one that likes higher time frames for execution, that's totally fine. But you want to, give me 1 second. I'm looking at something on this because I had a long from that, but I'm going to probably trail this thing because we're getting a little, yeah. Yeah, I'll put a little trail there because this trap thing, I can't stand that. And based on that measure move, the extension kind of fits in here, you know. So for us to get a little retracement is probably likely. So but again, back on the time frames, you know, you're gonna get way more in 15-second to identify what it is doing structure wise. But you can study on the 15-second and execute on a 1 or a 5 or whatever you're comfortable with. But the fact of the matter that is non-debatable is the lower you go in the time frame, the more you're gonna see. And if the 1 minute is looking bullish, the 15-second should be doing bullish things, right? We should see a push and a bear flag with extension if it's going to support a bullish 1 minute. If the 1 minute is starting to push, but you know, kind of show signs of weakness, and I'm seeing absorption to the south with a close or a bull flag failing, or you know, bullish things invalidating, your 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes about to break down. So it's an early read. It's going to break down because if the earlier time frames are doing bearish things while the higher time frames are doing bullish things, it's a prerequisite to a reversal, guys. And so, yeah, we got a little channel breakout, guys. This is gonna be a big potential here. So let's look and see. One thing I wanted to look at too. Let's grab this little pivot extension. I want to I already measured it a different way, but I want to kind of see, it's a little bit higher than one, but I don't know, maybe we'll breach that 85. That's a kind of a peak that we breach. So, but like I said, guys, you know, I'm live Monday through Friday on the US session, and I do Yeah, probably. Possibly. And I do the live trading with my mentor group, VIPs, open session. It's all free. 9 a.m. to I go live on TikTok, all that. And so that part's all free. You can just come in, or you can just join TikTok on that. I'm live on YouTube, TikTok, all of those. And so but if you're interested, you might need to follow me. I'm not one that's usually on here going, guys, give me a like, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a follow. I appreciate it when you do, because if you don't follow me, I tend to get suppressed in TikTok for some reason. There's this target of 83, so if we sweep this and we lose this, it's going to sweep. So, which also plays out with the old retest potential. So let's look at this. So that's a normal regression, 65. If we pull into this, anything that is higher than that jumps, guys, it's about to go. But it's normal for it to pull back to about here, like 65. If it sweeps this and then rejects, it's going to come all the way back. So watch it. But so if you were looking for Apple and all that, so the beauty of NEO, he can tell you all that stuff. And so I can do, I'll flip to it and see. Obviously stuff's closed, but let's we'll leave it in sarcastic. Can you give me an update on what Apple is looking like, market condition, kind of on a high time frame prediction? Let's see what he says. I didn't look at Apple today, so I have no idea on that.
Apple is currently playing guess the direction in the compression zone, which is a great way to bleed commission. While price is technically above the institutional pivot at 322.91, the institutional flow is busy selling the move, and with buy pressure at a pathetic 29%, this isn't a trend, it's a trap. I would wait for price to pick a side. Either reclaim the 327.50 institutional wall for a real bullish attempt, or lose the 322.50 major support to see if the sellers actually have a backbone.
There you go. Guys, I don't know why I'm snacking on these. If anybody wonders, man, Milo filter, little Sour Patch watermelons, so good. Let's pull this back to MNQ. Got it. Appreciate it. What are we expecting from the MNQ now? We ended up getting a pretty good breakout. Looks like bulls are in control. Do you think we're going to have some expansion from this, or any kind of retracement? Let's see what he says. All right. Oh, you just passed your fourth lucid? Good job, Kevin.
Control
Good job, man.
is grinding into resistance with the enthusiasm of a sloth, then sure, they're under the plate. Price is above B1, but don't hold your breath for a moon mission just yet. It's currently slamming its face into the 29095-29106 bearish order block. Expansion only happens if it actually clears that zone with real volume, not this balanced volume snooze fest we're seeing. If it can't hold the ORV high, 29,186, and gets rejected, this breakout is just another trap designed to chop up eager buyers. Watch for a confirmed push above that bearish OB. Until then, expect more sideways nonsense.
Man, this thing really better come down, because I would hate for that Zygot guy to come back and realize he was wrong. Oh my, I got to keep like a ledger to that. All of the traders that join my live that go, we are going here, guaranteed. Mark my words, I'm an 87-year trader. I think that every single person has been wrong. I don't know that. Well, actually, Radius. I don't know if Radius is on here. Radius is the only one that's been on point. Radius and I, we got mutual respect. If he throws on a level, it's warranted. But I just don't want to see Zygot come back and be wrong that we didn't go to 28.9 something like he guaranteed. So it's a great. In all fairness, you're right. Radius did say 850. Radius, I don't know if you're on here, man. Cody called you out. I don't know. He called you out. Radius is pretty on point though with his targets. Things shift. I did forget he did say 850 though, so we'll give him a little shaming later. Shame. Yeah, right. Man, Oh gosh, Texas. Okay, so this move here, as this pushed through, we got the break from within, uh, and I ended up kind of trailing out a little bit right there. So I waited for a push, pull, close above, and then just caught the extension. That's what I was looking at. So I just took profit on that. So now I'm gonna wait. So 95 was his kind of upper level. He only had one other one at 106, possibly. But man, you you just make me laugh because I got to get there because those are my favorite traders that go like this. You know, they'll come into lives or they'll do their videos and they go, guys, let me show you why we're going to 28.6, you know, and then they do their whole spiel about why we're going to 28.6, and then it'll do this for like 7 months, and then about 8 months later it goes, and then they do the video, guys, I told you we were going to 28.6, knew it, called it, follow me for more. That shit cracks me up, man. The market goes up and down. I mean, anybody could throw a number out there and it's going to hit it eventually. um But the true test, which is what I love to do, is can you look at a chart and go, that's about to dump, and this is where it's going. Anticipating that short-term movement is what a lot of people just can't do, or they're not comfortable doing. And so, my theory, most of you guys heard early on, was that we were pulling through, and this right here. Oh, I'm recording this, so that's good. We had the low. Remember, I was telling you, we had an extension with a double bottom, with a push, with a retracement into a low, with a weaker extension, with a double touch, with a reclaim of the low, with a pull that lost the low, should have created an equal or lower low, didn't. First sign of bullish pressure coming in. Reclaim that. 50% hold with a beautiful stop hunt because everybody loves to chase these and put their stops just below that. Came through, and then there's our push, right? And so that's why I was mostly long through here. So, but the main thing, guys, and it doesn't matter if it's me or anybody else, is you got to learn if somebody's just throwing out numbers. I I mean, I put about like this much weight on it. I just smile and say, okay, sounds good. Um, I just don't put a lot of weight on it because if you can tell me why, you know, then we can talk. Now the fact of the matter is, let's just, for argument's sake, we'll keep referring to our buddies I got there. He did say something about up here, some kind of level. I forgot what he said. And then he said the 28.59 like down here. So let's use that same exercise. If you are staring at your favorite friends or spouses Find Me on your iPhone, and they were driving, and you were trying to figure out if they're going north or south, do you think they're going south? You know, look at the map. If okay, well, yeah, they're going to the lower one. Oh yeah, yep, definitely going to the lower one. I don't know. They look like they're kind of shifting a little. Nope, definitely shifting. Oh yeah, they're not going to the lower one. They're going to this one. Things change, right? And that's literally the nutshell of trading. And knowing where the liquidity is one thing. Knowing which one we're getting to first is the difficult part from within. So, but look at that channel. So this channel right here, the moment we went boom, 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 I was like, channel. So we're just in a channel regression. So now what we want to look at, guys, this is a very critical spot. So we have a low here. We want to just take our fall mixed with our low, and we're actually breaking it. So we might actually go a lot higher. I mean, it still could have pullbacks within from our extension, but yeah. Let's see. So keep in mind, when you do a retracement, the only thing that me using a higher time area is just me doing it kind of like on a higher time frame. So this will be our next kind of wall, 43. Let's do a total pivot up pull. Yeah, that would put us up pretty high, 182. So if we hold this low, let's grab this with a retracement. See, that's what fascinates me, guys. This is what I love in analytics. So think about it. If we have this low and we're pushing up, if we hold this low, that would be a hold of this 50%. If I line this 50% up with that low, which is obviously a critical one that we need to hold, isn't it fascinating that it just lines up absolutely perfect with that high? So all that stuff is interesting to me. You closed it out? Oh my gosh. Cody, if you say one more FOMO thing, I swear to... you can get me in trouble on TikTok now. But yeah, guys, I don't know, man. I hope might be better off coming back tomorrow because he was wrong. It's almost like there's, right? Well, Texas, you've seen the way I look at that stuff with the market on, you know, pivots, extensions, all that. And that's how my mind works is it's a puzzle to me. And you need, there's an intent of what it's doing. You just have to figure it out. And if you're chasing the old retail path of trying to figure it out, you're probably going to struggle. I want to see. Interesting. I'll bet you it's going to base off that. So this will probably be our first point we start to reject around 40 from that. Because then this bases off of NEO's line, which is a good rejection point here and here. Gives us a full extension. Plus, let's look and see how close this is. We have a nice little push there. Oh, look at that. It would just be almost damn near perfect, depending where you pull it. If you pull it there, it would actually be closer to the 41, which would be the actual pull. So isn't that wild? Let's see. I don't know. Maybe it just blows through. Who knows? But man, I'll tell you. Let's check with Neo. What a push there. That long setup you called earlier played out pretty well there. So I kind of have a measure move extension that is calling a rejection at 41. Boy, look at that, do it almost perfectly. If I were to get the pullback, what would I want to have it pull back into before I looked long again? Isn't that wild, guys? Look at that. I mean, we don't know how far it's going to pull back, but look, it pulled back at 41.50,
Well,
exactly where those both lined up.
Was napping. Don't let it go
To a T.
The move is extended as hell right now at 29,136.75, so chasing this peak is just asking to be liquidity for someone else. For a pullback, I'd wait for a retest of the 29,083.25 swing midpoint or that 15 minutes bullish OB, 29,035.75 to 29,067.00. I wouldn't touch a long until price actually holds that zone and shows me some buyer absorption or reclaim. Blindly catching knives is for hobbyists. Your upside target is a retest of the recent high, 29,137.50. Then that institutional wall at 29,162.26 to 29,164.13. If it busts back below the 15 minutes OB, 29,035.75, the long thesis is structurally dead.
Okay, I wasn't really listening. Let's see. The move is extended as hell. Yeah, it is. So chasing the peak is asking for someone liquidity for someone else. Yep. So he wants to pull back all the way to 83. Interesting. But isn't that cool, guys? I'm gonna show you guys again. For those who missed it. Where did I pull it from? Shoot, I think I pulled it from here. Yeah. No. Where did I pull it from? I'm gonna show you again, and I can't remember where I pulled it from. Man, guys, I need to go back and watch my own recording. I seen it early. What was that? Let's pull backwards and see. Yeah, so I was right. It's this low here originally. But isn't that funny how, so you take two things. You take that low that I pulled and you take that measurement, line it up with the prior high, gives you the extension to the dollar that we started to pull back. Whether it holds or not, just depends, right? How strong the bulls are. But then also, remember we grabbed the pivot low. I think I did it right there. And then I pulled this up into that low, and bam, look at that, just to the dollar again. Right, Texas? It's almost like there's a plan. But the thing is, like I said, guys, if you don't think outside the box, you're not going to see those things. A lot of people spend a lot of time trying to learn a lot of things that you're supposed to learn, and a lot of it is good. I mean, you still want to know what things are, but let's do a little retracement extension. So pull. I don't know that I like that. Maybe lines up good with that low from in. And if we take this high and that pivot low, that would put us about 14. And then we pull from full extension. Okay, there it is. All right, now we're really close to that. And so there it goes. Bam! Look at that. Called the top on it. Go team. So let's see how far it wants to go, though. Nice little double top, but we're getting some absorption north. So the bulls are they're coming in. They trying. Yeah, be careful on longs, guys. Can we jump again? Sure. We're getting a little absorption, but it's safer if you get that little sweep pull and then jump. Would be a lot better. I was looking at something. What time is it? 8. I gotta wait till 8:30 to get my money. Oh, I know, Landon. Dude, it happens every day. That's why I don't ever argue with those people. I just, okay, we're going down. Okay, maybe, man. It's possible. Yeah, he said he had to go. I don't really, again, mostly he was respectful, so I'm not out here wanting to bad talk him with it. But this just goes back to what I keep saying. Cody and many of you others in the Metro group is nobody knows, man. I don't care who you're listening to. You got to see certain things before you believe it. So now we want to see, is this gonna we're gonna bull flag this puppy. Let's parallel it. Let's do a little guess of the parallel. I love when I do that. The market loves to be parallel. So we sweep into this and we absorb. We about to jump, but as of right now, you got kind of an ugly looking head and shoulder with a neckline pull. Usually if it's gonna head and shoulder, they'll sweep one more and then absorb south. And so we'll see. They've been invalidating. Yesterday they invalidated bearish after bearish. It was crazy. 143, yeah. Isn't it funny though, if you look, we hit that 141. So you're seeing the bearish FVG. I saw the measured move. I saw the extension pivot. The retracement setup, prediction I look at. There's so many different ways to see a target. And that's where I never argue that, because whatever one you see that works is for you. If you can see it and it works, it's for you. So I'm a big believer in that. Oh, PDRA? Oh, yeah. I'm not looking at it. So, I trust you one time, Texas. I didn't even challenge you. I was like, yeah, man, you're right, obviously. Next time I'm questioning you. No. Oh, I'm just playing. Guys, I actually enjoy doing the Wednesday. The mornings are just, you know, preparation. We're getting things ready. Got NEO fired up. We got the U.S. Open. Ready to make the money in the day. You know, I like doing this one because we can just kind of hang out and just kind of chill, see where the market goes. But I didn't even look what NEO said. So let's see. Extended as hell. Yeah, he wants a retest all the way back down here. That's right. And then if we get a pull back above, then it would be a target of the 137. So, and if we break below 35, the whole thesis is dead. That's pretty far. And so, you notice how like how this structure looks. I mean, it's just doing a little bit too much northern pushes. We'll see. They're not really hammers. They're just a lot of dojis. So I don't know that I would classify that as the pump. I think it's more of an indecision. It can go either way on there. But the market wants to pump instead. Excuse me. Nice little breakout. Let's see. Is it gonna hold though? Trying to see. But yeah, you can see got a pretty good flush within that. I don't know that I would quite call that a flag yet, but the indecision with this told me that definitely wasn't going to drop quite yet. But let's take all this out here and let's start measuring extension again. So we're going to pull to the low and look, that is right where it's tapping and trying to jump. And so we'll see. We might get a full extension. His upper target was 164. Shit, he might actually hit that. That's what he said, remember, in the early plan?
Coming up on 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, we got a minute. So we should get a little,
Then go pick someone usually up.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not a usually up. What it likes to do is it's like the U.S. It'll sweep one way, or sweep one way, sweep one way. So we got to see which way the move is. We got 8 o'clock coming up. Usually a big move. Where would you send price to wreck the most retail? I was trying to sneak it in, but I don't know if we have time. Let's see. Let's see if he can call it again. He calls it every time in the morning.
Oh, you want to know how the market plans to ruin everyone's day at 8 o'clock?
Pretty much.
It's not exactly a secret, just simple math. From a liquidity view, the path of maximum pond is usually the one that triggers the most stops before reversing. Right now, there's a massive pile of buy stops sitting above that recent high of 29,141 and pushing right into the 29,164 institutional reaction zone.
Got the push up there, Bobby.
If the market pushes through that high, it'll bait into breakout chasers, only to slam them into that wall and reject. A classic long trap. To the downside, the 29,086 ORB low and the 29,085 midpoint are looking pretty
stays above it, is going to go up again.
A quick flush into that liquidity would clear out the late shorts and probably trigger a bunch of stop losses before the market decides where it actually wants to go. None of this is guaranteed, of course. Liquidity hunts are risks, not fixed destination points.
No, I
Wait
want
for
fixed
price to actually
destination
reach those
points.
zones and show you rejection or reclaim evidence. Don't just guess where the massacre will start.
So he says a quick flush up to 64. Shit, we might actually get it. Could be possible too, because look at the 50 is right on that upper. Interesting. Yeah, it did work out though, Bubby. Ended up going up. Let's see. Did he say 173? I thought he said.
Whatever happens at 7:45 kind of mimics it at 8.
Yeah. 164. Yeah, and they typically, it's kind of like US, right? So US did the same thing where it kind of like pushed up, didn't really pull, and then jumped. Asia is similar in a sense. It kind of follows suit, so it could just jump up here. But you know, they're also normal with the open where they if they sweep it and it can't break it, they're gonna typically sweep it one more time. Let me check. don't think that's gonna. Oh, there's their 64. Let's see. Times 8. Yep. All right. So we hit the 64 you just talked about. So apparently it works in the Asia thing there too, where you send it. Now that we did get that sweep up to the 64 where they swept all those stop hunts, you think we might get a pretty deep retracement from this? Let's see what he says.
You're asking the market for a favor? Cute. We're currently jammed into that institutional reaction block at 29162, 29165. So yeah, price is sweeping exactly where it's supposed to get hit. A pretty deeper retracement.
Ooh, look at that. Trap block forming too.
Tapped a wall.
Oh yeah, rejection right on it.
Not a cliff.
That's crazy.
If sellers actually show
That's
up
what I'm looking over. I took a short off of them trailing.
29165 zone with a 1 minute bearish candle close, then maybe you get your retracement toward the 29,083 midpoint. If buyers absorb this and push through, that wall just becomes fuel. Don't marry the idea of a drop until the structure actually breaks. Watch the reaction right here.
I love when he calls these targets, because even if I didn't take it up to it, but the moment we started to reject audit, I jumped into it, and then I saw this trap. I'm like, I'm gonna try. So I'm trailing it, but if it comes up and hits me, it hits me. It's got to break through some certain things, but I love when you're in a directional play off of target he calls, and then you get this little purple box, because those are pretty good. Let's look at our high-low of the pivot. So as long as it stays below 47, we're going to come down again. If it breaches above that, we're going to jump up pretty high. So a little bit of a breach. Yep. A little quick stop out on that one. So let's see if it's going to sweep up. What a pivot, though. This one flipped. Let's look at the 1 minute. Let's see what that's doing. Oh, 37, remember, was that one line we were watching. I can't remember what we used from that one, but that one's playing out pretty viable from within. So let's check this 64, 65. Do you have any levels above the 29,165 that we should be concerned about? Let's see what he has. That's an indicator that we have. It's the trap and block engine. And so it just kind of identifies.
Before you start mapping your path
pivots.
To the moon, price is currently suffocating under that 29164, 29165 reaction zone. If it actually breaks, a big if the 1 hour bearish OB,
He said a big if
29,207.75 to 29,271.00 is the first headache, followed closely by the gamma institutional walls.
I got my payouts
29,286.56 to 29,290.73. Anything beyond that, like the 29,342.50 prior day high, is just a larger liquidity draw for the breakout chasers. Don't act surprised if the move rejects well before it gets there.
I can do my payouts already, so I'm going to do these real quick. Yeah. There it is. Got it. Requested. There you go. My funded's pretty fast too, so should get those pretty quick. I like how quick they are with this stuff. What do you say? Oh, gamma. Now we're getting up into the gamma stuff. Okay. Ooh, a lot of resistance up here as well. He's got a cluster 286 to 290. Oh, that's way up there. I'm not going to mark it yet. What I find interesting is notice how he said, if it breaks, a big if. It doesn't really scream, go long. I don't know, man. We'll see. His verbiage on that always cracks me up. Just the way he uses the wording on there. Asia might have found their trend though, man. They are pushing like a nut. We're getting into the Prior ORB area. Plus, this is our structure that dropped us, so it's kind of getting into that neckline area within 185 or so. So we'll see. If you look, our top pull extension hold push right now it's pretty weak, but it's not done until it breaks below that 50. So we'll see. We're getting some good volume though, this thing, that's for sure.
I think we at least test the ORP if we came this far.
Yeah, all right, you think. I'm just curious if it's gonna get the pull because like you said, I love, man, when Neo does those little confident words like, oh, you want to know if we get above this, and that's a big if. It's just it cracks me up. If it actually breaks it, it said 207 to 271 is the first headache. And so 207 we'll mark down. Yeah, I tell you, man, a good thing that we all took shorts from the commentators of TikTok that said we are going down. 271. Some of these get real high. Shoes. We'll just put those for now. Okay. Little indecision. We are getting a little trap on there, but we did get one earlier that invalidated, so I want to see what I'm not really... this is a pretty big level that he has in there. This is our prior high, and we are dojing like crazy, so a close above this is going to expand. If it absorbs back and closes below, we're going to come back for that sweep. So let's see. Let's grab a couple of things here. So pivot maybe there. Structurally, it would be a little lower. That'd be about there. It's about 175. It could stop hunt it. Stop hunt it and drop. Let's see. We do see here this new indicator we're kind of playing with. We're still holding on above that midline, and we're kind of down with him. So I think any kind of pullback might try to hold for another push. Let's see. What are the key levels? He mapped out some pretty condensed stuff here, but then he said as we break through, hold above that. Then he had a deeper target of 164, which he hit. Now his targets levels are crazy. So he's got the 164.25, 207, and 271. But these ones here he kind of threw out there. What I'm curious to see, because remember, I always laugh every time he says certain things. So he said before you start mapping your moon path, price is suffocating under this, reaction zone of 64 and 65. If it breaks, and that's a big if, then this would be your next block, which is the 207 and 271. So just the fact that he was like, and that's a big if. I just love to see that actually pull because usually he's pretty right on that. But it does look pretty much like it wants to try to push. But it's definitely butting its head. I love that when you ask for the payouts on my funded, it comes out like right away. So I can trade them if I want to now. Finally. Pretty cool. It's wild to me. Broke through a lot of stuff for us not to get a little more extension on that. But doesn't mean we can't have a brief pullback. Because if it can hold that 50, this was a pretty big run. That would put it right at that top. Almost perfect. NEO seems pretty convinced that it's gonna have a little pullback first. So we'll see. NEO knows everything. Let's see, moment of truth, guys, because it's gonna check chest on the 50-year soon, and so that would be right where we're breaking, actually. So if we break through that 52, we'll get a little more expansion from it. I just laugh, man, because it just I do a lot of videos. You guys probably, if you see them, I don't do a lot of videos, but I do some videos, and I tend to do the whole like, you know, NEO crushed it, did good. If you know, you know, and that's kind of what I talk about, right? I mean, he just literally calls this stuff all freaking day. It's crazy. So again, we're still potentially able to get the expansion, but I love his confidence of this push, and he's out here like, cool, you want to know higher levels? If we break that, that's a big if. And look at us breaking down. I'm telling you, man, what he says and how he says it matters so much. This is a big one, guys. We lose this, we're sweeping. It just matters so much. It's funny. I'm looking to see. I love my funded guys. Bam! Your payout is approved and processed. There you go. For anybody who wants to know my payout that was processed, bam and bam. Love it. In my bank. Let me check, but it's probably already. It's pretty fast. Oh, there it is. Got it. Dude, I'm telling you. That's why I get a lot of people who will say, try this prop firm, try that prop firm, and respect. But I mean, they're good, man. They pay quickly too. So see that bounce, guys, almost perfectly on that pull. So it's a normal bullish move, push, equity balance, push. This push here has to create an extension. If it fails to create an extension and falls back through, it's going to create a lower low. It's going to drop pretty good. So, but it's supposed to do it. Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, see, it was a perfect pull. And so okay, so that would pull there. And that extension, yep. Okay. Let's see. We still got that trap here too. See that? I mean, we did get an extension out of it, but those are usually pretty good. If we hold this 164, 165 area, and that's a big if, what would that target look like? Let's see if he's... I didn't tell him short or long, so let's see if he assumes. He's probably going to assume.
Big, if, indeed. The market usually prefers to drag everyone through walls rather than politely bouncing off them. If it actually rejects that 164 to 165 zone, the first meaningful downside target is the Lisma confluence near 29082 to 29100, with the 5 minutes bullish OB zone 29031 29043 acting
It's
as the real
breaking.
destination.
I'm calling him out.
Don't bet the farm on a bounce until you see actual seller defense and a failed reclaim of those walls. Otherwise, you're just paying for the liquidity.
Yeah, so we got a big push. So that's that extension, right? Like the pull, 50% push, hold the 50, push, needs to get an extension. Extension has to hold. So, and how high this extension goes is going to show how strong the bulls are. So we're going to watch and see.
Definitely check after that overpay.
Yeah, I got a nice little, ooh, that's a big one. So 207 was his target. Looks like that's going to tap. Interesting. That's a full extension too. So let's see if we get the rejection off the 207. The next one he said was 271. So this is kind of a range. So we got that purple block, which is usually pretty accurate. So see if we get any kind of retracement. But yeah, I mean, tell you, we ended up definitely bearish. I just keep pressing that, twisting that knife because it just, like I said, it cracks me up. We're going down. Oh, don't look like it. It's set up. Nice, you got everything set up. Did a good job. Nice. Yeah, man, we'll get together if you need to make sure everything's all set up. On there good. As we're hitting that 207, what would I look for a rejection? What do I need to break back below in order to take a short?
So you're looking to fade a push into a
good.
1 hour bearish OB while institutional flow is literally screaming buy pressure? Bold strategy. Let's see if it actually pays off. I wouldn't touch a short until price breaks down and holds below the 29,173 Asia high. If that confirms, the first target is that 29164, 29165 zone, which will likely act as support now. If price pushes through and holds above
That's a good extension too.
29,271, your short thesis is dead in the water. Don't act surprised if fading the flow here gives you exactly the result you deserve.
Ouch. So right about there, 185 is going to be our pullback for a full pull. If we take the full low or low, 177. Anything that jumps a higher high, guys, is going to show strength. So, because a normal move up, we want to see this pull here, tap there, jump, and then get extension. Anything that breaks that's going to give a deeper low. So we're just wanting to see, is there any kind of exhaustion? Nice, you got the computer though, that's good. That's all you need to start with. So 64. Interesting. But yeah, bulls are coming in. They're coming in hot. So he wants to break below the 173 before, which makes sense. Is the structural high there? As of right now, it's trying to show a lot of strength, guys. We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, this is a known level. Let's see. That 207 that it's rejecting off of that, is that a strong level or what is that representing? I don't remember what he said. I think it was a block he was talking about.
That 207 level isn't some magical barrier. It's just the lower boundary of the 1 hour bearish order block. 29207, 29271.
Oh, this
Price
whole
is rejected
time.
because that's a zone where sellers have historically put their foot down. Don't confuse a standard order block boundary for a guaranteed reversal. It's just the first door price has to kick in if the bulls actually want to push higher. If it keeps failing there,
look at that
all you're
push
seeing
again.
is the order block doing its job.
So let's see if we lose it at all. So we got the extension with a really good show of strength, but I'm looking to see if we get any absorption back to get the pressure. Because again, for it to be a good, healthy move, ideally would be to at least pull to here. Would be ideal. Oh, getting a little trap block. Interesting. So even with this other stuff within, I would like to see it pull and break below this back through the ORB. That would give it enough steam, but as of right now, we're not showing any exhaustion yet. I want to see a pull, a sweep, some kind of absorption. It's in the 1 hour Lisma? Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because if he's talking this is a higher time frame block, that's a pretty wide range. But yeah, we're kind of just in full expansion on that wedge that or that channel that broke out. I'm gonna delete some of these back here because a lot of these, I think he said that one, and I'll leave that one. Yeah, we're just extension on the wedge here, or the channel that broke. Look at that. All the way up. Trying to get to the purple block there, I guess. Let's see where this goes. All right, so let's measure distance. So we know we had a good expansion here with a really good hold with another expansion. So that shows really good strength, guys. We have a little weaker one, but we haven't collapsed yet. And so let's grab our top here and our bottom. Measures the top, so we'd want to lose 18 to give some steam to pull back for the larger. So we'll see. What's up? I'm on the MNQ 1 exclamation on this. So 238 is a real big one, guys. Also be careful. That's a really high time frame structural level that has to reject. If we break through that, this smolder's going. And so let's see if we get any kind of resistance off of that. It should. If it doesn't, if this breaks through, man, it's just this thing might just go. So we'll see. This tail line's a really big line, guys. Just want to see any exhaustion. You know what's crazy? I was just looking at, guys. I wasn't sure earlier, but look at that cross. Once it got to here, look at this. It hasn't crossed yet. Stay along. I'm telling you, the indicator's gonna be so sick once Paul's done with that. It's gonna be good. So just seeing if there's any sellers gonna step in. We're just kind of inside a block now, but 271 is the upper part of that block. The bulls are pushing. Bears have any hope here? Let's tell them. If you're asking what the
They're
RB is, it's
screaming to
right there.
hope while volume is screaming buy
That's
pressure is a classic
opening range
tragedy in the
breakout.
making. They don't have a prayer unless they can force a rejection from that 29243 29260 bearish order block or that 29,286 institutional wall. Even then, shorting this momentum without a clean breakdown and hold below the 29,173 Asia high is just lighting your account on fire to keep them warm.
Yeah, RB is opening range breakout. Climbing into the purple, guys. That 238 is going to be a make or break, man. We break above this with extension and hold that. Whew. It could be very interesting. But that 238 is going to be a big spot where we would want to see a deep pull if we're going to have any hopes of kind of retracing back. So we just kind of want to watch. I'm just trying to show some strength into it. That's for sure. These hammers right into it. I'm just showing absolute strength. Man, that thing is just pushing through. Good thing we ended up very bearish, like everybody said earlier, or like that guy said. That's funny. Let's see where we want to reject, guys. It's trying. Man, this thing is just trying to go. This has like no signs of exhaustion. So these are good setups I like if I want to play the other way, because we're coming into a pretty good block like it kind of mentioned. And if we lose, when we reclaim it, if we lose that 38, that pull is going to be pretty deep. Yeah, I know, good old Asia. Just buy, but we're overbought. It doesn't matter. Just buy. That's the old Asia. That's funny. Just looking at something over here. Deciding what I want to do. What's going on, man? What's up, Banzumi? Yeah, so this, I'm telling you, we lose this 38 and we begin to reject on it. It's going to be a very interesting fall, y'all. That is going to happen very fast. Because then it's a likely stop hunt. Here we go. You guys ready? You ever see a slip and slide in trading? So take our peak. Extension pull would be there. Overall structure would be there. Right, we're trying to bounce. If it bounces here, we're going up again. If we lose this structure, it's going to come down with some balance. So just kind of watching. This is where it gets really fun because you're gonna get where you lose a certain structure and then all of a sudden out of nowhere the whole thing's gonna just fall. I'm just setting up a couple of potential things I wanted to look at here. I think that's fine. So I'm just trailing this one here. 7, let me look at this one. I want to see how low, we're playing a game of how low can we go. So let's keep looking for the exhaustion. So at the end of the day, guys, we have a push extension, a really strong hold with a push with a deep extension. Pretty similar move because you can see a pretty good measure move from within. Kind of matches right around that low. So that was kind of where we're getting our rejection. So right now it's just a normal rejection. This 238 is what makes this important to me, right? Critical. And so now we want to measure weakness within the bulls. So if we are going to descend, we should not cross that. So we can do it and still descend, but it's not really showing a lot of strength like it should for collapsing that. This is a pretty decent block area that Neo's been calling, and this is our 238. That is a really good kind of hold area. So we got a good push up into the 50 with a perfect kind of pull. Let's see if it wants to push through it or pull. It's going to tell us just a measure of strength on the bears. So the bulls are trying to push it. What did the gonna do? We're still rejecting, so that would be where we need to reject. So if this comes down and pulls through here, that'll give a pretty good expansion. Yeah, 07 needs to break also, but we gotta, so far we'll see. We did get a little minute trap push here, but and also, that's 15 seconds, so this already kind of played out. And so it was already like a 12 or 13 point move on low time frame. Little absorption where we needed it from there. Showing some signs of weakness, but not quite strength yet to the bear side. Just more weakness on the bull side, if you will. Yeah, so that's 18, expansion. Still holding the line. These stupid purple things, actually, those things play out so good. This is a pretty good block though. But again, this is a normal regression. It's 50% hold, so we needed that to break and drop and not reclaim above there for it to truly show a low. Finding it a little interesting that we are kind of pushing through the 38 as easily as we are. So I want to see. Let's check in with NEO. Do we see any signs of exhaustion on this push? Any signs that we might get a little retracement? And if so, what do we need to break below to get it? So see, we're not showing quite exhaustion like we would if we wanted a really big drop.
You're looking for a corpse in a market that's currently sprinting a marathon. That push is barely pulling back at all. 14% retracement is barely a sneeze, not a sign of exhaustion. If you're desperate to see bears actually show up, you need to see price lose the 29,219 Lisma. If that breaks, maybe it stumbles back to the 29,132 midpoint. Until then, you're just front running a freight train.
He said that pullback is barely a sneeze. So, which he's probably looking at the whole structure. He's not wrong. And so he wants it to break below the 18 right here, which is why we're bouncing on that Lisma. So a pull from there would give us our deep pull. So we got the lower high. I want to see how it respects to this 38. What do you think we should be leaning, long or short, and why? He's sarcastic, so let's see what kind of attitude answer we get.
If you're forcing me to pick, I lean bullish because the swing structure is still in a let's go to the moon mood, but I'm not buying this specific location. You're currently staring at a bearish order block, 29243, 29260, and an institutional pivot at 29,290.73 overhead. I'd rather wait for price to actually clear that resistance mess than play chicken with a bearish OB just to see if the bulls have enough caffeine to keep pushing.
I love sarcastic, man. He's do you notice, those of you who've used him quite a bit, the patch I was really working hard on yesterday, I love it. You know, so he's still very attitude wise sarcastic, but it's not like deeply directed at you. Man, he was, if I unleash his logic, whew, he's just mean. Just mean. All right, so we know that this is a pivotal spot right there. Should have held resistance, didn't, reclaimed it. Now it's trying to hold support. If it loses it, likely gonna flush. If it holds it, then it's gonna jump. So see, I was trying to hold it right there on that. So let's watch it. It's just a quick, easy way to measure strength within the push, or we're getting some weakness. So moment of truth, guys. Now we're getting down to that slow moving Asian session. It's kind of weird, you know. The bulls look like they're tiring out, but they're not. They're showing more strength than the bears right now. Still, could see that. We're just not respecting that as we would if we were going to be more bearish. But that level right there is being respected. So if we get a close there, it's going to get expansion. Any kind of push, absorption, pull would break that through. So let's see. Yeah, guys, again, those on TikTok, we're just kind of casually hanging out, man, in Asia doing some studying, trading. He's leaning more bullish on it, mostly but he still doesn't like this area. He wants to pull back. And so, or he would touch it according to him. So first sign of a little bit of weakness from the bull, our bears, guys. That's our first little weakness there. Yeah, so if we pull to that one, a clear break of here would push down, but 18 is really going to be the moment of truth. Let's put it on because I know they said. Yeah, we got the Lisma there. Interesting. Yeah, and guys, like I said, if you're interested, kind of learning how I do it, I trade Monday through Friday, in the mornings. We do an open session live on TikTok. You guys can follow. You can join the open session. It's free as well. Even in the open session, I tend to teach quite a bit. So we're in a very interesting spot, guys, because the bulls are still showing some strength. Can't quite create these highs, the expansion. There's the bears. I was waiting for them to show up. And so now that we got them to show up a little, we want to see how deep they can push it and do they get absorbed. If they get a deep push with an absorption, it's about to jump again. If they get a push, see how we had a little pull with a jump. We need a close below, and then that will give probably enough pressure to pull below. If we pull and absorb and close, it's going to expand north. And so, let's see. But the bears at least kind of showed up a little bit for the first time. Yeah, it could range a little bit. I would love for this to just kind of sweep this area here. Right, it's a key level. We pushed, sweep it, push it. But bears are trying to show up, but the bulls are pushing. They're just, look at the sellers are trying to defend this area like crazy though. Which is rightfully so. I mean, this is a battleground area, guys. This 38, I'm telling y'all, is important. If they let them explode this through, this shit is just going. Probably all night. But if they battle this, they're going to pull it back, which will be kind of a retest of that ORB area. So, but that 38 is a really big battle area. But bears are trying, but the bulls are strong. So I don't know. I don't know if they got enough juice to hold them, but we'll see. I know they're going to try to give them their all. This is also a high time frame block he was talking about. That's bearish. We're inside that block. So for us to come tap the top and then pull and then lose, it's possible too. But anything in this zone here from between these blue is a bearish block, according to him on a, I think he said 15-minute. Or it might have been 60-minute on a 1 hour. So, to your point, I mean, it could take a little bit of time before it decides to let it go. One way or the other. Thanks for sharing that, Rebecca. Again, guys, US, I don't typically take a lot of questions during that first hour or so, but that's why I'm here on this Wednesday is, if you guys have questions, please ask. So, looks like the Bears are showing a little sign of life. You think they might get them? Much sign
Bears
of
showing
life? I knew he
That's
was going to
adorable.
say that.
They're literally just getting rejected by the 29243, 29260 bearish OB. That's their job, not a revolution. They aren't getting them until they actually break the 29,218 swing low. Until then, you're just front running a standard retest.
Yeah, but what if I just really, really will it that I wanted to just break that and drop? Would that help? I'm gonna taunt him a little bit. I like messing with him on sarcastic at times.
If wishing were a valid trade entry, my account would have infinite zeros. Unfortunately, the market is currently ignoring your thoughts and prayers, clinging to the
My account would have infinite zeros.
29,218.25 swing low like it's a life raft. You can manifest a crash
They're
all you
defending
want,
this area.
but until price actually breaks and holds below that level, the bears are just arguing with a wall.
Yeah, but with that bearish order block above, kind of like the bulls just keep ramming their car into a wall.
Bulls ramming a car into a wall? That's generous. They're basically trying to parallel park a semi-truck into a brick wall at 80 miles per hour. The bearish OB at 29,243.00
who drives truck? Is that possible?
29,260.75 is sitting there, and sell pressure has spiked. Buy fraction is down to 36%. If the bulls can't actually clear that OB with some real volume, they're just serving the bears a free lunch on a silver platter.
Let's taunt them a little
Stop trying to force a breakout into a brick wall. If they can't reclaim that level, you're just waiting for the inevitable rejection.
All I hear is you said go long. I'm gonna taunt him a little bit while we're waiting, guys. But again, it's trying to pull the thing is I'm the structure is interesting. Right?
If you heard go long
Hold
while
on.
I'm pointing at a bearish OB and negative volume, you might be hallucinating profits. I said the bulls are crashing into a wall at 29,243.00 to 29,260.75. I'm definitely not buying a ticket for that collision. The long only becomes valid if price actually clears and holds above 29,260.75, not before.
Again, a lot of indecision in here. We had a deep expansion with a pretty deep pull that bounced right off Lisbon. That's holding internal. We're internal on the pivot. So a break above here obviously will expand. Break below here will obviously drop. Now we just want to look for signs. The thing I don't like, it's a very clear indecision area. But we are in a push kind of angling down. So if it breaks this area there, it's pretty decent chance it'll expand. Now, if it does expand and we absorb through with a closed follow through, then that's going to drop really, really hard. So we want to kind of watch how the candles behave, which is where I love watching on the 15-second because you can see so much more. I would call this a pretty good indecision area. And you can see, guys, this is why we have our purple blocks. This is where we don't. So that's why we're finding a lot of resistance here. If they can't break this, 38 is going to come back. So be careful being in longs. If you want to be in a long, let it pull and then jump. We could just jump as possible. We've been very bullish. Even though, our early fan club was out the gate bearish. Well, we'll see. Let's see. Oh, no, I didn't mean to go long. I misspoke on that. I definitely would not do that into a wall. Where should I go short, though? I'm just going to taunt him. I like to mess with him. Again,
Shorting into a brick wall is a bold choice, but you do you. The short is
but
conditionally
you do
bound.
you.
Price pushes up into that 29,243.00 to 29,260.75
So
bearish
he wants a
OB
break
and
below
shows a
that
failed
18. I'm just
reclaim
going to
or
mark it.
rejection. If it rejects, your first target is 29,218.25, swing low, followed by the institutional reaction level near 29,164.13. Invalidation is a hold above 29,260.75. If it clears that, you're just providing the exit liquidity for the bulls.
Providing the exit liquidity for the bulls. Just looking at some there. They don't want to let it go. So this is our company AI we created. It's all web-based. This is NEO. There you go. Anybody can use them. You just go to nextstepalgo.com. We do a free trial. I'm talking to TradeVision. NEO is across our whole site. So he's in other stuff too. But TradeVision is what I'm talking to. This is kind of the brains, the hub, trading partner, mentor, guide, whatever you want him to be. So emotional support counselor. Maybe he's the one that causes it, depending on your personality. And so, but yeah, you go to nextstepalgo.com. We have multiple personalities. I'm on sarcastic. That's why he's given a little attitude. And right now, if I'm on M&Q, we support quite a bit of symbols. So these are all our future stuff. This is all our options stuff. We got stocks and we got crypto down below as well. Yeah, the way this is angling, it should try to jump, but what I'm curious is on that jump if it absorbs. That's what I want to see. Do we get the absorption? 'Cause if this cannot, when this does this, if it does get any kind of sweep, if it cannot breach a decent high, it's gonna have a pretty big inverse. And so, oh, he's really accurate. So if you're curious, we have a YouTube. I'm actually live on YouTube right now. Which actually look. Oh, good evening, Rose. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. You were way up there on my other monitor. Where's my YouTube? Here's my YouTube. And so live on this one right here. And so you can see it's just at Next Step Algo. If you go to our lives, we are live every morning. I go live with him. And he has called the first 10-15 minute movement of the US Open for the past 7 weeks. So go when you go to the live videos, just go to the first 5 minutes before the open and to the 5 minutes after the open, and you'll see what I mean. Yeah, he's really accurate, really accurate. Yeah, that's what I was looking at, because then it would be a push, parallel, pull, failed extension, right? Yeah, and see how it's coming up like that. So you guys know, those who studied Lisma, when I put it on here, it does not like to move much when it's angled like that. It likes to dance a bit, maybe even pull down a bit, usually more so because it wants to curl it like that. That just usually happens. And so, ooh, we're getting a little trap block. We might get a little action here. Uh-oh. And the way that this looks here, this should have broke out. So we might get a little action here, guys. It is battling the absolute crap out of this this 50% pull. Oh, look at that. There's the sweep. The bulls were just kidding. Look at that. Let's see. All right, so this is moment of truth. This breakout, like we were talking about, has to have a big extension, just like that.
Man, I am not kidding. I moved my take profit
down, man,
because I was convinced they were going to push it lower.
Yeah, it's gonna have a big extension, just like that.
I had my take profit up at like 59, and I just dragged it down to 44 because I was convinced they were going to drop it.
It looked like it was. I was definitely thinking about it.
I wasn't sure
I got right before that candle.
Yeah. I was waiting for the extension to 71, but I did not think we would go through 71. That I did not see coming. So let me see.
I got PTSD from being on the wrong side of that candle too many times during Asia.
Right.
I was like, let me get my 5 points and be done with this one.
Yeah. Now the question is, are we gonna fall back down? Dun, dun, dun. See that sweep? That's what we were just talking about. There's the sweep, and watch this. This drop here is gonna absolutely floor if it breaks that low. Got a rejection right into our top. That's a good hold. So maybe it won't. So what I was referring to is when we get this pull. See how we swept that? That should have pulled more. It didn't. Right? We're reclaiming. So now we want to see if this reclaim kind of hold above there. Yeah. Look at that. Absolute perfect structural 50% hold right now. So now the 71 is the top of a bearish order block that he was talking about. And so let's see if we expand or are we gonna pull? Yeah, we ended up pretty bullish. I actually expected us to be pretty bullish, but did not expect it to be this high this fast. But that is fun of Asia. So that is Asia for you. So let's see if they're gonna flush it, or are we gonna keep showing strength? I trade mostly the prop firms on the Asia market. That's where I just kind of pass my evals, get my payout stuff. I just did a payout from my funded, so. But we're getting a nice little rejection here. If this can come down and sweep that, then that might pull down to test that 218. But the bulls are just showing conviction. In all reality, if you look at this now, hindsight, you got the indecision, but you got the lower high, higher low. So I kind of pinned it on it. Did a little pennant action.
Great entry app is throwing a buy on a 15-minute.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, the strength's there, until we see the weakness. We haven't quite seen the weakness yet. This thing wants to just keep on digging. I'm good with it going up, but again, like I said, I'm a big fan of, I would rather it go down a little before we go up. Again, I want to see it retrace something, because we are really extended right now. The buyers are coming in really hot, and we broke some areas that were just pretty damn critical for us to break. I'm just trying to see if we get any kind of break here. This extension is pretty good. The 71 is the top of a bearish order block, so the expectation of us getting here was pretty possible all along through here, but he didn't really give us anything higher than that. Now that we pushed up and we're fighting that 271 area, anything above that we should be concerned about?
Fighting. Price is at 29,272. It's practically parked on top of 29,271.
What Jody said on
not
that.
fighting. If you're hunting for what's above, it's a double tap to the chin with the major institutional wall at 29,286.56 and the pivot at 29,290.73.
That's an institutional wall we've gotten back to.
Chasing a long into that resistance sandwich is a fantastic way to get flattened. I wouldn't touch a long until price actually holds above 29,290.73 with some conviction, rather than just hoping for a miracle breakout.
Yeah. So we're getting into institutional area. This is where the gamma walls were. At 291. And so we might start to see a little bit of a pull, guys. Finally. As we approach this area, would you expect bears to step in here?
I'd love to tell you I have a direct line to the bearish committee, but the market doesn't run expectations. Price is grinding into major overhead resistance at 29,286.56 and the pivot at 29,290.73.
This guy.
That is where the bears should show up if they have any spine left. Don't guess. Wait for a clear rejection and a 1-minute bearish candle close back below 29,271.00 before you try to dance with them. If price rips above 29,291.00 with volume, the bears aren't stepping in. They're just getting run over.
They just getting run over. That's funny. Right now we're back to the 50% pull from within. So, but yeah, the prop firm is basically companies that you can buy evaluations, for 50, 60, 80, $100 depending on what you get where. And then it's a good way to learn. And if you do well, if you pass it, then you go to what's called a funded account. And when you get to the funded account and you get to a certain level, they'll, whatever you earn, they'll pay you on that. And so you can make good money from it. And you can learn with little minimal cost. There's the sweep. Ooh, buddy. This is big, guys, because if the bulls cannot absorb that, that is a big push. And again, so 71 was our top of our bearish order block he's been calling. The 91 is our kind of institutional gamma wall. And so that was our pretty much our biggest sweep we've had from that. So pretty good. So now that we got the bears showing a little backbone, we'll take that high and that low. We want to stay below that 59. I want to see if they can still suppress the bulls, because the bulls have been strong. Let me look at something. I need to move that way up here. Let's see. Very interesting. Bears are coming in though. Had a really good sweep of that low, and it is holding the 50. So if we get one more little pull down with some kind of conviction, then might start to see a little downside. So let's look and see. This is an area that the bears got to kick in here. We bounced it, honestly though, we bounced perfectly almost to this 38 in this low in that sweep. We're trying. Looks kind of ugly though. Bulls are trying to push it though. Let's see. Pretty decently strong reclaim so far. See if we lose it. So if we can get any kind of rejection somewhere in this area with another kind of deeper sweep, then that will likely give it lower though. Then, but anything short of that, the bulls they just coming back in. But guys, if you got questions, like I said, feel free to ask. I probably won't be on too much longer because I gotta do a few things before I head out tonight. But let's check back in with Neo. Can you give me a long and a short setup?
Oh, you want to bet on both directions?
Yep.
Trying to be everywhere at once is a fantastic way to end up with a smaller account. We are wedged right under the 29,286.56 to
Look here, buddy.
29,290.73 institutional resistance sandwich, so pick your poison carefully. For the long, I only care if price accepts above 29,291.00 with a 1-minute candle close. The first meaningful target is 29,370.25. Failure back below 29,286.50 is the first warning. Structural invalidation is a loss of the 29,218.25 swing low. For the short, look for a rejection from that same 29,286.56 to 29,290.73 zone, followed by a 1-minute bearish close below 29,260.00.
260.
First meaningful target is 29,218.25. A reclaim above 29,291.00 is the first warning. Invalidation is above the recent high.
Interesting. You put that short up there a little bit higher this time. You might be onto something with it. What would you do with this price where we are to wreck the most retail? Let's see what he says.
From a trader-facing liquidity view, the most obvious retail trap is sitting right above the 29,283 high. Every breakout trader is currently twitching to buy that break, hoping for a moon mission. I wouldn't touch along here. I'd rather wait for them to get swept and rejected, or let price pull back to the 29,235 support area before considering a setup. Don't be the exit liquidity for the breakout chasers.
We got a purple block out of the zone. We got our close, so let's see if we get that expansion. Because he was saying a close below there is going to expand back down to the 218. Looking pretty good for it. All it's got to break is this 50% pull, which it's kind of right at. We gotta break that low, and then we should sweep it. What's up, everybody? I'm trying to watch the questions, but I don't see. You got a MyFunded account? That's awesome, man, Jody. Yeah, let's get you going, man. I'll take a look real quick, Daniel. That's weird. Because I did that with Alex and it was fine. So I'm not quite sure. Why does it keep doing this part? All right, so we got a good from his call. He wanted the break, retest, close below, and his target was the 218. So we'll see. As bullish as we've been, we'll see. Are you short? Yeah. So from anything from the 71 here that's continuing to reject, he doesn't want to touch a long until we get above 91. So 71 is a top of a pretty big bearish order block he was identifying. 91 is the kind of institutional gamma wall area that they're going to likely defend pretty well. So as far as, you know, we're obviously very bullish. So we're trying to just identify, is there some weakness within? So his short call was that any kind of pull here, rejection, and then you want the close below for that confirmation. And then he had a target down here is what he gave us. Invalidation would be above 291. So for that. So we'll see. But yeah, every time we keep trying to pull, man, they just want to just push again. Look at that sweep again. What I need to see is some absorption. So we got a sweep. I want to see the bears kick and absorb it and close below. Then it would just be a stop hunt kind of sweep. But the bulls have been strong, which is really funny because like for those who just joining, we had right out the gate, man, on my live, people are like, we're going down. We're going to 28-2 or something. 28-5, I don't remember what it was. I was like, we'll see. And they just kind of continue to get proven wrong. We're just kind of waiting and seeing what this is doing. It's kind of acting a little funky. It's right now. Guys, I probably won't stand too much longer. I just am kind of intrigued with this structure, and I want to see when the exhaustion kicks in, as well as between the trap and block being a bearish order block within. You know, I'd love to see if we get that pull back through this. And so we're just kind of measuring through. Yeah, bulls are coming in with some pretty good strength. At the end of the day, if you look at the higher time frame and go kind of out like this, it's kind of what I was saying at the open. We are from a deep drop into a bearish flag is what I was trying to do. We had a deep break here, and then we had a pretty good push on the open there, and then we had another deep pull there. So right now, we're just kind of oscillating within the range. So, but it's still it's still a bearish pattern. So I wouldn't be taking longs up here. I don't care how pretty it looks. I refuse to take a long unless I get a pull deep into here and a jump, or a pull deep into here and then a jump. Because the risk of how far it can go down is lots more than the other way. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to do it every Wednesday. So unless I have plans. If I have plans, then I can't. But I'm going to try to do it every Wednesday. That's the idea. But yeah, guys, again, I not a social media marketing pitch, but if you want to watch more in the morning, I go live Monday through Friday in the mornings, 9 a.m. to 11. If you don't follow me, you probably won't find me because I tend to get suppressed. Oh, yeah, to not trade Asia. Yeah, Asia's a beast, man. Asia's a trend trading environment. People that love to trade trends and conditions and just hold that trade forever, because Asia will take a trend like this, and once it starts it just won't die. It just goes forever. And so, and that seems to be what it wants to do today too. Just kind of refuses to die. But anything, my concern here, although we have a lot of bearishness within, this is a big level, man, this 38. And we we hit it with violence and pushed it. And so usually tries to expand, but there's a lot of bearishness above, so we'll have to see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see. Just be careful, guys. Watch your volume. Don't ruin your night trying to turn a revenge trade. Yeah. Yeah. I expected it to go up. I didn't expect it to go up this high, if I'm being honest. When I was anticipating it, see, I had this channel here. We watched this channel. Everybody, not everybody, like one or two people were like, we're going down to, I don't know, somewhere like down there. And I saw that channel, so we played the breakout of the channel, saw the flag, played the breakout to here. I expected this to reject a little bit further, come back down and retest this low, and then come back up because it's that high. Didn't do it. So I just wanted to keep on rolling. And so now we'll see where we go. But I mean, we can get pretty high if we wanted to, but 327 is the next, real big one that I have been watching, that I've been marking. It's been respecting pretty well. But yeah, looks like we might be in one of those fun Asia sessions where they just have some deep little retracements here and there and reclaim them and continue the trend for days. But again, just be careful. Don't if you break something, if you did some stop loss, he's Neo's really accurate in the mornings, as well, and even his shorts, for the most part, have either been too far away to where they never initiated. The only one that initiated was the one he just called. But in all fairness, it's not really invalidated yet, because you can see he said if we get a close and a hold below that 60. In all fairness, he did say the 1 minute. Did we end up getting it? Yeah, arguably. But he said an invalidation would be above 191, so it's still kind of in play from with him. But bulls are looking like they're trying, though, that's for sure. But again, you can't lose focus on, no matter how bullish they try to look. At the end of the day, we are down, up, down, back up. Kind of a simple trend line seems to be where we're rejecting. See this? Bam, bam. So if it can't break that trend line, it's going to slide it back down. And for us to get even a basic 50% pull, would pull us all the way to like 154. So if it cannot squeeze it through here to pop that, it's going to come back. So we'll look and see. Interesting. But the when you come back into the higher time frame like this, we are channel down, channel up. And you can kind of see, I never really drew it or drew it out, but you kind of see a little bit of a parallel channel here, like that. So, which is a drop bear flag. So, for us to break this bear flag out, you can kind of take a simple little middle line, and if it stays below that, it's going to still have the potential of dropping quite a bit. And so, just be careful chasing the longs. You know, if you're going to climb up this we're in a macro bearish descent. Last hour trace another 4 hour top my price. Yeah, it like I said, I man, other than Sunday Asia, I'm just not a big Asia fan because they I am more of a top and bottom style trader. I like, and man, they just love to not really let a trend die once they pick their direction. So, but we're kind of triple topping within. So a close below this absorption would also be below the 38, which is gonna drop pretty good. So probably will. It's just testing the prior highs. We don't want to see any jumping here. If it jumps here, probably won't. So, but again, his call earlier was a close below there. We get to the 218. Invalidation was 291. So I'm curious to see. I mean, the trade's still in play. Curious to see if he gets it. It's kind of why I'm hanging on. Usually I'm out of here by 9, but I don't have much to do on it, so I want to see where this goes. And so, no trolls tonight. Neo's nice. Yeah. We only had one little micro troll earlier. That was about it. Trolls don't tend to hang out too long in my channel because you're not really gonna get a rise out of me. I'll just laugh it off. Been around the block too long to let you get into my skin. Starting that descent, guys. Looking good. We just need to not get any kind of deep absorption, and then we should slide. So if we break this 38 here, man, this should be pretty good. But his target was 218. I don't know. Anybody taking that short that he said from the 260? That's the one he said up here.
I closed the one on the pool that I took, and I
Yeah.
got you also right.
See, a close below 260, first meaningful target would be 218. So if you waited through this whole push, that was kind of that trade. So we'll see if it hits target though. Looking like it wants to. Might try to form a little ugly looking head and shoulders. So we may try to chop here, but if we just lose this, it's gonna slide. Might just do that. It's getting a little push. So we did create our low from the play. The extension is pretty close to this one, so I would not be surprised if we get a little bounce. What we don't want to see is a bounce that reclaims here. So we can even take, let's see. No, I don't like that one. Ooh, look at that. Man, look at that. What a push. Let's see if the Bears absorb it. If not, man, it's just a healthy pullback that the Bulls are trying to jump on. That was quite the jump there, guys. That was wild. Hmm.
Oh, that 230 is really going to go. That's where it was getting hung up before it jumped.
Yeah. Well,
That's what
and if you think about it, if you pull this to there, that's a damn perfect tap of a drop, push, drop. So if this loses this micro regression pull from here to here, which it's already losing, then that's going to create a lower low. And he'll actually hit his target at that point. So let's watch and see. Any absorption here would try to invalidate that. Any kind of close through here coming through is going to validate it. But more so that 38 is just so important. I want to see. Yeah, see that rejection there? So it's looking, also it's the neckline, so triple top, absorption, south, I mean, everything in here is screaming that it wants to drop, but it's got to stay below that. Anything that pushes through that, it'll invalidate. The 38 here is also the big one that we want to watch from within. That 218 was his target. What in the world? I like one of my TPs. I'm kind of piggybacking, so I got one of the TPs. Let me look at this other one. This one is good right there. Okay. Yeah, this is doing all it needs to do to descend. It just needs to close below here. So pull, close, and then you should get a pretty good slide. And then his target to 218 was worked. That was his target, guys. I mean, his setup was a close below here, which is funny because he usually doesn't give short entries so tight after being so bullish. So when he gave that entry close below there, it was very intriguing. I mean, either way, it's already a 25-point move. So either way, it was a pretty solid call. Let's see. Two, just doing the math. Guys, what questions you got? We're kind of hanging out, waiting to see if this is gonna play. Let me know. If none, we'll just kind of hang out a little bit longer because you guys will find I love to just kind of hang out to see how these things actually play out, and I want to see if his target gets it. So right now we have a perfect tap on that. So bears would kick in here. if we do pull, 53 is where that's got to hold. So we ended up creating a lower low here, but I want to create this as a lower low, because if this creates a higher low off of this pivot that jumped and it can break the 50, it's going to jump again. And then we're just oscillating. Plus we got the 38 that is just so strong. But I'm just curious if we're going to hit that 218 target NEO throughout before we do that.
Put my TP right at 218.
Right? Yeah, his invalidation was like 291, so it wasn't really too tight. It wasn't too bad.
You think he still has that level, or would it change by now?
The levels don't change nearly as often as they do on the US side, because the US side he's measuring a lot of the dealer stuff. And so those definitely change a lot more. We can check. That short from 260 is playing out pretty well. You think we might actually get to that 218? Gotta love sarcastic, because you
That
never
short
know
from
what you're about to get.
260 is actually doing its job. Shocking, I know. Getting to 218 is doable, but first you have to survive the bullish order block at
He's such an
29331,
asshole.
29244, which is currently
Shocking,
busy
I
trying
know.
to find any excuse to bounce. If price flushes through that
So
block,
33,
the next meaningful liquidity magnet is the institutional zone near 29164, 29165.
Okay.
I would keep that stop tight above the 50% midpoint at 29,252.75, because this market loves to trap shorts inside these OBs before rug pulling the
Interesting.
bulls.
So if it flushes, this block, if it keeps holding it and we flush below that block, and break through that 218, shoot, he's calling 164 and 165, which would actually line up with some 50% stuff. We're also deep ass head and shoulder build here. Looking a little too pretty though. NEO, N-E-O. That is our AI from our company. That's kind of who I've been talking to. If you go to nextstepalgo.com, he will be your guide, mentor, signal caller, pretty much anything you need within trading. So you don't have to hook anything up. You don't have to pay for any other stuff or data feeds. Man, he's gonna hit this 218 after I'll get out of here. That took a bit to wait for that call, but it played out pretty well. Phenomenal. Actually, let's see if he actually hits this shit. That's crazy. I'm with you on it. I was trailing through, but I have a TP of it right above that 20. I think 21.25 is what I put it. Let's see.
Just hit mine, I'm good.
Did it? Nice. Oh, we had to wait a bit for that one to play out. So I hit my TP on one of them.
I've been holding that for a while.
Nice. Yeah, we got that one to play out, so that is good. Man, he's talking about some deep levels if we flush, though. That's pretty wild. Well, there's that 218, guys. Welcome to NEO. He just done this for the last 7 weeks.
Never thought it. I was puckering up there a little bit, but...
Well, the good news is COVID's not an issue, so there's no toilet paper shortage. Oh, I'll tell you, what's funny on that, Ellie, is I say this to quite a bit of people, that one thing you'll learn... Oh, shit, I made too much on that one. Sorry, a little ADHD kicked in there. I'll deal with that tomorrow. I set a TP on one of them I was doing for the eval I was going to add, and it got to 1626. Apparently my math was wrong. That's okay. Let me do something, guys. I'm out of all of my stuff, so I have a routine. When I'm out of all my trades, I like to go through and just hit exit all, exit all, exit all, exit all. So I don't trust leaving stuff in. Whew, this might flush all the way down to that one. What did he say? 165, 164? Good lord. If we get to that one, that's going to be good. I mean, we're head and shoulder. It definitely could. 64, 65 is what he said. But yeah, the more you kind of trade with Neo, you know, you eventually get to a point where you're like, maybe I just won't trade without it because he's pretty accurate. I will tell you the one thing that I've noticed, and a lot of you guys notice this too, is when he is adamant about something. Do you guys remember when we were up here? I said something about, you know, if they break it, he's like, break it. He's like, he was pretty adamant that they're gonna likely get a pretty good pullback. But right off the 207, we're bouncing though, so this could get pretty interesting, guys. That bounce is going to be interesting because we have the neckline of an ugly looking head and shoulder. This is a neckline retest. Anything that rejects back down, which would also be right there of 40, then that is going to drop really hard. Anything that breaks through this, then it was a trap, a fake out. But he hit target regardless, right? So he was literally, you guys seen it. He said, if we get the close below there, you're in. Invalidation of 291 with a target of 218. So, I mean, that's a, what, 40 some odd point move? 42. It's a good move for Asia, man. You only needed that one trade. I mean, he had plenty of long calls. I just didn't want to take it because they were very overextended. And so, but that was his first short call that met the requirements of taking the short. Bulls are trying to do a little something something with this, though. Interesting. Yeah, so we'll probably head off, guys, here soon. I'd love to see if he's going to hit that 165 he was talking about. But if you guys are intrigued at all, again, you might want to give me a follow because I get suppressed. For whatever reason, when I get to about 100 people, TikTok kind of blocks me a little. I can tell because it'll literally climb up 80, 90, 90, 98, 101, 92, 101, 92. I don't know. So I know people that follow me that can't find it. So, but guys, it's another reason to check out multiple stuff if you're interested. So, if you go to the website nextstepalgo.com, you can see these little lights here. If it's green, we are in session. So you click on that, and everything we do is Google Meet. Bam, you would be able to jump right into the Google Meet. I do an open session every morning, Monday through Friday, 9:15. I tend to open it up at 9 a.m. To give you guys a little early, and that's free. So you guys can also find me through that if you register on the website, and then you just click on that, and you can join that in the morning. And then also YouTube, so which is just at nextstepalgo.com. But for people who are not sure what we just did, this is TradeVision. This is Neo, our AI, and we built him to be everything. You know, your guide, your mentor, anything you want him to do. So there's no data feeds. You can do it from your cell phone. You don't have to hook anything up, no settings, no nothing.
Let's see if the market can finally stop choking on its own chop and provide a setup that isn't a complete waste of bandwidth.
We got multiple personalities. You can use sarcastic, uncensored. So let's see what he says there. Heck yeah. It looks like we're about to drop through the floor, but the bulls came in trying to hold this thing up. You think they got enough juice to hold it up? Because his target was 165. I'm curious if it's going to hit that. If this actually plays out, it'll try.
Hero inside this bearish order block. If juice is a generous word for it, they're basically slapping a band-aid on a gunshot wound. Until they clear the top of this OB at 29,254.00 and hold it, they're just building a liquidity trap of the day. If price flushes back below the OB low at 29,234.75, Those bulls are going to find out real fast that their juice is mostly just hopium. I'd watch that low like a hawk, lose that, and this bounce gets deleted.
Oh man, that's funny. Interesting, guys. Look at this sweep. I want to see. Let's study real quick and grab this top. Yeah, that's the 50 that it held. Might be even more perfect if we pull it. Yeah, that's a perfect pull right there from there. So it's a perfect kind of 50% hold. So we need to see if we get any kind of bears stepping in again in that level of that 260, 270. Any kind of sweep back down that reclaims these levels will pull pretty far. But anything short of that, we may jump, right, and validate it. But anything below, for those just kind of watching it, 291 is kind of his institutional defense. So anything above that, he didn't even give a target. So 327 I know is going to be a really big one. I'd be really surprised if we get above that 291, honestly, with this big of a push without any retracement like this. And so if you think 260 is pretty close to the halfway mark of the entire structure, yeah, put it about 255 or so. So for us to pull a little bit wouldn't surprise me. Guys, I'm going to drop off YouTube for those that are on there. Appreciate you joining. Let me